Precious Jesus, stay in my heart, live in my heart, stay forevermore. Precious Jesus, stay in my heart, live in my heart, stay forevermore. So stay in my heart, in my
Hello, good morning. Welcome to Joy News at 6. The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM and hits 103.9 FM in Accra. In Kumasi, we are live on Love 99.5 FM and in all 16 regions of Ghana via our partner stations. You're also live on myjoyonline.com, X Spaces, and YouTube. Coming up, Ghana's health authorities heighten preparedness to prevent Ebola from entering the country, as more than 2,300 people have so far died from the outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo.
And so, as a country, we put the necessary steps in place, right from the airport to our isolation centers and all that. And so, since then, we have activated our systems to prevent it in the first place. And as and when we also have it, we are ready to combat it.
Friends of Chairman Wontumi insist they will go ahead to pick and file nomination forms for him despite clear party provisions barring a convicted person.
I'm certain that the friends of Chairman Wontumi are premised their decision to pick up a form for him purely based on the party's position on the imprisonment of Chairman Wontumi.
In business, government considers measures to strengthen Heritage Fund as efforts intensify to increase petroleum production. And later in the NSMQ, the stakes are high, but Cape Coast is ready for an academic smackdown as schools from across the country face the pressure to deliver.
I was supporting my my school, St. Mary's. They have won again from the OT region, and I hope that they will be able to go very far.
I know my school at Naman, they've qualified, but realistically, I know there are some schools that these people will get to the finals.
My name is Darryl Kwao. Details coming up. First up, Ghana has heightened surveillance at its borders and strengthened its disease detection systems following alerts from the World Health Organization and Africa CDC over the spread of Ebola in parts of Africa. Health Minister Kwaku Kando says measures have been activated from the country's entry points to treatment centers to ensure any suspected case is detected early and contained before it can spread. Stephen Mensah reports.
More than 5,000 confirmed Ebola cases and 2,300 deaths have been recorded in the latest outbreak across Africa, with the Democratic Republic of Congo worst hit. The threat of cross-border transmission has prompted Ghana to step up surveillance at its points of entry and treatment centers, with Health Minister Kwaku Kando outlining measures to detect and contain any imported case.
Immediately, WHO and Africa CDC announced this. I think it was Uganda and DRC Congo. And so, as a country, we put the necessary steps in place, right from the airport to our isolation centers and all that. And so, since then, we have activated our systems to prevent it in the first place. And as and when we also have it, we are ready to combat it. We have spoken to Noguchi, and we have also aided in the procurement of the necessary reagents and the machines and what have you. So I believe that we are praying that it never comes. But even before then, we should be able to arrest it at the airport or at the entry point. And if we detect any case, I believe that we'll be able to contain it.
The health minister is also calling for stronger regional cooperation, including the sharing of information, expertise, and technology to contain outbreaks before they spread.
We do not have to wait until there's an outbreak before we start putting things together. So there's a need for us to be well alert and to identify where we will get what at any given time. I've already spoken about the experts on the continent, and they need to also build our production capacity on the continent. When there is an outbreak in one country, the other countries must show solidarity and get prepared.
Turning to other news, friends of convicted former MPP Asante Regional Chairman Bernard Enjiboisiako, popularly known as Chema Wuntumi, say they will go ahead and pick and file nomination forms for him to contest the party's national chairmanship race. This is despite provisions in the MPP's constitution that bar convicted persons from contesting for party positions. Wuntumi's spokesperson Dr. Palgrave Boachidankwa says his supporters are determined to pursue the bid because the party does not recognize his sentencing.
I'm certain that the friends of Chema Wuntumi are premised their decision to pick up a form for him purely based on the party's position on the imprisonment of Chema Wuntumi, considering him as a political prisoner, which for them in their mind presupposes that they would have an opportunity to pick the form because there's nothing legally denying him an opportunity to pick a form and there's nothing legally denying him to submit a form.
Dr. Palgrave Boachidankwa says this decision has been endorsed by Chairman Wuntumi himself.
All throughout the court processes, he had done his first round of touring 276 constituencies. He had done media tour. He had met with political party leaders, the fathers of the land. He had met with former presidents, met with former regional executives, council of elders. And so his decision to stand for the chairmanship of the party does not bar him at all. He still speaks about his desire to lead the party, even where he is.
You had Dr. Palgrave Boachidankwa, Wuntumi's spokesperson there. Now, residents and commercial drivers at Dansoman Junction in Accra are demanding urgent action over the deplorable state of roads in the area. They say years of complaints about the poor roads and persistent flooding have produced little change. The situation, they say, is affecting their businesses and movement. Nancy Compson reports.
For years, this stretch of road at Dansoman Junction has become a source of frustration for residents and motorists. Each time it rains, sections of the road become flooded and muddy, making movement difficult for both vehicles and pedestrians. And for those who make a living transporting passengers, the consequences are immediate. Taxi drivers and motorists say passengers are increasingly reluctant to board vehicles from the junction because of the flooded and muddy condition.
Our customers no longer come here because they cannot get through the flood. Most of them now prefer to alight at Sacramento. The drivers have had to park their vehicles, and some are even playing checkers.
Aside from slowing down business and motorists, some drivers say they are forced to spend the little money they earn on spare parts as the poor state of the road consistently damages their vehicles. But it is not only drivers who are bearing the cost of the bad roads. Some residents say some drivers are unwilling to drive through the mud and flood waters to drop them at the junction. The municipal chief executive of Ablikuma North, however, attributes the persistent flooding to inadequate drainage infrastructure. He says the scale of the problem is beyond the capacity of the assembly and requires intervention from the Ministry of Works and Housing.
The waters you see on the road is a deliberate attempt because there are contractors going under the bridge and desilting. They cannot meet the water, so they have to divert the water onto the street so that they can have access and then do the proper drainage. The permanent solution, I can assure you, doesn't lie in the assembly.
Nancy Compson's report read to you.
Now, with less than 24 hours to the NSMQ prelims, the host city, Cape Coast, is already buzzing with excitement, predictions, and fierce school loyalties. We hit the streets to find out which schools residents are backing and which among the pack they think could pull off a major upset. Here are some of the reactions.
We have a duty unto ourselves, unto our nation, for us to protect information integrity and to see it now more than ever as a democratic and national imperative.
All right, so the 2026 National Science and Math Quiz is produced by Primetime Limited, sponsored by the Ghana Education Service with support from Gwell PLC, Prudential Life Insurance, Ghana, Jupe Money Transfer, Truster AI, GTP, Bell Beverages, Didi Jollof, and Spincita Ludromat. Now, the broadcast is sponsored by Vitamilk and Chartered Institute of Management Accountants. The Republic Bank Joint Habitat Fair kicks off tomorrow, bringing together opportunities for prospective homeowners to explore properties, financing options, and special deals under one roof. Apologies for that. Whether you're looking to buy your first home or take the next step toward owning a property, the fair promises a range of offers to help make that possible. Head of Sales and Marketing here at the Multimedia Group Limited, Max Fuga, tells us more about what visitors can expect at the fair.
Habitat Fair Clinic provides you that congenial atmosphere, that conducive atmosphere where you can directly engage, appreciate the various options that are available, and make an informed decision. You can also get financial advice when you visit the Habitat Fair. Fortunately, we have Republic Bank who are setting up their stands there to offer expert advice on mortgage, on financing, everything housing, including home improvement. And so when you walk in there, it's a one-stop shop for everything housing. You also have the opportunity to network and learn from industry experts. And so all roads you lead to the Achimota Retail Center, or Achimota Mall as it's popularly called, from this Friday to Sunday, which is of course the first clinic or mini fair of the Republic Bank Joint News Habitat Fair 2026, where you have everything housing being displayed. We have over 22 exhibitors. In fact, that is what the space constraint will allow us to take. We will be there to offer you everything from land acquisition to building to roofing. Everything housing will be there. Just walk in there and then make an option, make a choice, and also receive expert advice on financing.
That was Head of Sales and Marketing here at the Multimedia Group Limited, Max Fuga, ending the news here on Joy 99.7 FM. Remember that the first mini fair of the Republic Bank Joint News Habitat Fair kicks off on Friday. That is tomorrow at the Achimota Retail Center through till Sunday. Don't miss it. There's more news on our website, myjoyonline.com.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Google me. At what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car? No, I don't change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so. This is the type of fuel where they want to. Cause now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir. Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mindset be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them. Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel? Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you. Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside? I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small. Go. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
My guy, when I hear the engine make that vroom, it drive me crazy. Oh no, bro. This is my love language with physical touch. I mean, touching the smooth car leather seat. Correct sound system. AC freezing me like sachet water. Now me just have it with my passenger princess. Charlie, that be why we can't miss the Absa Auto Fair. You fit test drive and Absa Bank get affordable finance options to help you own your dream car. Yeah.
Join us for the Absa Auto Fair on Saturday 22nd and Sunday 23rd August at Good Park, Accra Mall. Come for affordable finance options from Absa Bank, special discounts and offers from your favorite automobile brands, plus insurance and auto accessory exhibitors. Want to showcase your brand? WhatsApp 0541 361 237 to book your exhibition space today. The Absa Auto Fair is powered by Absa Bank in partnership with City FM and Holland Insurance. The Absa Auto Fair is calling. Will you answer?
Who dey brush them? Who dey brush? We dey brush them. Who dey brush? We dey brush them. Brush your teeth. Brush your teeth every day and night. After eating before bed, brush the germs away. The sugar germs, we go brush them. Fufu germs, we go brush them. Rice germs, we go brush them. We go.
When it comes to your teeth, Funnel World Cup. Brush them twice daily with Pepsodent, now in limited edition packs. This advert is FDA approved.
Mom, please, can I have some milk in my Milo?
Have you tasted it?
No, but I didn't see you add milk.
Hey, taste it before you ask me any questions.
Hey, milk na chum say.
This is Milo all in one. Milo Pampa, cocoa, malt, milk and show, everything is inside.
Milo All-in-One already comes with more milk. Just mix with water and taste the nourishing goodness of quality cocoa, malt, and more milk all in one sachet. Milo, the energy to go further. This advert is FDA approved.
Go day, say a party, mini me a chomo, crunchy, chilling with friends, mini me a chomo, tasty, take chuck your hunger, mini me a chomo, crunchy, break time please, mini me a chomo, tasty, mini me a chomo, mini me a chomo, mini me a chomo, come and taste the fun, mini me a chomo, mini me a chomo, mini me a chomo, come and taste the fun. For the laughter, mini, 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 me a chomo. All the parties, mini, 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 me a chomo. Let's go dancing, mini, 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 me a chomo. Taste the fun, mini, 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 me a chomo.
This advert is FDA approved.
Cast your mind back to 2022. The prices were rising. The stress was high. Every liter of fuel felt like a sacrifice. Do you remember who stepped forward first? When others were comfortable with high prices, Star Oil chose you. We cut our own profits so you could keep your AC on, keep your engines running, and keep your life moving without the heavy burden. We gave you room to breathe when things felt tight. Because of you, our Star Savers, we became number one. Today, the pumps are a battleground. Others are finally cutting prices because they have to. But Star Oil, we do it because we want to. Don't just chase a price, remember a friendship. We were there for you then, and with new innovations coming your way, we are here for you now. Star Oil, still quality and affordable fuels for all.
Every business starts with a dream, a small idea, a first customer, a first sale, and then one day you realize your business is ready for more equipment, more stock, more opportunities. But sometimes the money you need to take that next step isn't there yet. That's where Societe Generale Ghana comes in. With our SME loans promo, access the financing and banking solutions your business needs to move forward. Finance lease for equipment and machinery, Wafu loan for working capital, factoring and invoice discounting to unlock cash tied up in invoices. Whatever your next big move, we are here to help your business grow. Visit any Societe Generale Ghana branch or visit societegenerale.com.gh to learn more. Societe Generale Ghana, the future is you.
Welcome back, and thank you very much for staying with us here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM and the 6 a.m. news brought to us by Absa Bank Ghana Limited. Your story matters, and Total Energies. Total, we go the extra mile for you. Time now for the Joy Business Report brought to us by Omni Basic Bank, not just another bank. Akbafu.
Hey, good morning. I should get one of your fugus so that when the lights go off unexpectedly, I can just have something I can wear.
Well, yeah, it's good sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking of what to wear. I was going to iron, and then the lights went off.
Yeah, it appears it's everywhere because
yes. So okay, let's do it this way because while driving to work, throughout my route, I didn't see only the filling stations had electricity, as expected. So, folks, let's do this. Okay, did you also experience the blackout? Tell us where you are and whether you have lights this morning. Are the lights back on now? When I'm not sure when I stepped out not long ago, we're running on gen set, so I don't know if the lights are on now. But we want to know, okay, wherever you are this morning, did you experience the blackout? If you did, are your lights back on? Tell us where you are and what your experience was.
Yeah.
And it'll be important for us to know when it happens like this. it would suggest that Gridco is the one taking it off. Okay, because ECG, no, I'm not sure ECG will just take everything off like that. But this morning also, Darrell, another thing I want to check with people, those who use the motorway.
Okay.
You know, the Minister of Roads has been giving Maripoma Enterprise up to the 2027 to complete the Akratama motorway. Yes, that should be completed. It's such a hassle, using the motorway. The few times I've used it, Charlie,
it's bad.
It is bad.
It's bad.
Folks who use the motorway, what's the experience like? You know, using the motorway daily to work. Share those thoughts with us. Get on to X, use the hashtag JoySMS. Then on WhatsApp, 055-1111-997. But this morning also, GoldBod, domestic gold purchase. What's happening? It's a conversation we must have. Samijin Fis throwing a challenge to the minority, says, well, where in the IMF document does it say that GoldBod contributed to the $1.7 billion loss? The minority says, well, now that you admit there was a loss, account for it. Okay, we'll get into all of that here on the Spur Morning Show, which means we can get into the Joy Business Report. But who gets the trumpets this morning?
Well, this morning is going to Josephine Osu-Setre. She's Deputy Director Administration at the National Vaccine Institute. I met her yesterday. She's a fan of the Super Morning Show. She listens always.
Okay.
Yeah, and I thought that we should trumpet her.
So Josephine, right?
Josephine Osu-Setre.
Josephine Osu-Setre. We say
trumpets. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the Joy Business Report. Coming up this morning, government considers measures to strengthen Heritage Fund as efforts intensify to increase petroleum production. Also coming up, Ghana advances plans to introduce nuclear power into its energy mix as the country seeks a more stable and cost-effective source of electricity. Plus, Ghana Stock Exchange calls for the introduction of more financial instruments onto the capital market to provide additional funding opportunities for businesses and government. Details coming up. My name is Darrell Kwao. Thanks for being with us. Hello to our friends listening from Kofu Radio on KT Radio. Government is considering measures to strengthen the Heritage Fund as efforts intensify to increase petroleum production and rebuild the country's resource wealth. Speaking at the 15th anniversary celebrations of the Public Interest and Accountability Committee (PIAC), Member of Parliament Isaac Adongo said higher oil production would translate into increased revenues and ultimately provide more resources for the fund to support future generations.
If you take 100% of 100,000, it cannot be more than somebody taking 1% of 3 billion. The entire oil resource envelope is smaller. Therefore, any percentage of it will also be smaller. And if you see that currently what we are suffering is a decline in production, it is instructive to know that the government has secured some investment arrangement that could lead to a regeneration of our wealth. Something in the region of $3.5 billion has been secured in order to increase the production in the wealth. And the more production we get, the more money we get, and the resultant Heritage Fund will be bigger. But we have to take a decision collectively whether or not we want to spend the money now or we rather want to push a lot of it into the Heritage Fund.
Member of Parliament and Chairman of the Public Accounts Committee Isaac Adongo there. Meanwhile, economist Professor Peter Quote is calling for stronger institutional support for the Public Interest and Accountability Committee as it marks 15 years of monitoring Ghana's petroleum revenues. According to him, securing a sustainable funding mechanism for the committee and replicating its oversight model across other mineral sectors could strengthen accountability and ensure greater value from Ghana's natural resources.
What PIAC is doing for oil should be replicated for other minerals as well, because we are tracking the way oil money is being used in this country, and I think it's a good thing. For the past 15 years, we have highlighted where there are problems. There have been instances where oil money has been used judiciously. There have been instances where they say there is a project here, you go and the project is not there. We have highlighted all of that. I mean, as we saw, after this launch, we are going to have a comprehensive report on abandoned projects, on oil projects. We're going to track all of them over time.
Economist Professor Peter Court is still on oil production. Energy expert Benjamin Insia has attributed renewed investor interest in Ghana's oil sector to the government's recent policy reforms. This follows reports that multinationals, including Shell, are seeking to secure exploration licenses in Ghana's oil sector. Speaking to Joy Business, Mr. Insia said the investors are also encouraged by increased predictability and stability in the sector following the introduction of new regulations.
There's stability in our upstream, consistency in terms of government policy, attracting the needed investment in the sector. There's reduced conflict in the sector, and there's an intentional regulator that is courting various IOCs and local NOC to participate in our upstream. I think that it is so because, one, we've promoted macro stability, of sustained macro stability. Two, there is more interest in the upstream sector across the world because of certain conflicts in the Gulf and Middle East. And I think that we must commend ourselves for this wonderful performance to revitalize our upstream.
You heard energy expert Benjamin Insia. Now, Minister for Energy and Green Transition John Abdullahi Jinapor has revealed Ghana is advancing plans to introduce nuclear power into its energy mix as the country seeks a more stable and cost-effective source of electricity. According to him, Ghana has exhausted most of its hydroelectric generation potential and is increasingly dependent on expensive thermal power, making nuclear energy a critical option for meeting future energy demand and supporting ambitions to export electricity across the region. He made the remarks at the US-Africa Nuclear Energy Summit.
If you take Ghana's trajectory, we started with our famous Akoso-Modan, which generated more than 1,000 megawatts. At that time, the country's peak demand was 300 megawatts. And so we had a redundancy of about 700 megawatts. Ghana's peak demand today is about 4,500 megawatts. And we virtually exhausted all our hydro capacity. So today we have an installed capacity of a little over 5,000 megawatts. And most of it now is coming from thermal power. And so the time has come for us to explore other alternatives. We are determined to diversify our energy mix, and nuclear will play a cardinal point when it comes to our energy mix so that we can have affordable, reliable power to boost industrialization and also grow our economy.
You heard the Minister for Energy and Green Transition John Abdullahi Jinapor. Former First Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Maxwell Pokuafare, has revealed that more than $15 billion in Eurobond borrowings between 2007 and 2021 were largely used to finance the national budget. This was contained in an article authored by the former governor titled How Not to Miss a Crisis. According to Dr. Pokuafare, the borrowings contributed significantly to the country's huge budget deficits during the period, putting considerable pressure on the economy. Now, the Ghana Stock Exchange is calling for the introduction of more financial instruments onto the capital market to provide additional funding opportunities for businesses and government. The managing director of the Ghana Stock Exchange, Amoah, said the exchange must continue engaging potential issuers, government and the private sector to expand the range of products available on the market. Her comments come amid strong activity on the capital market, with the GSE Equities Index recording a 73% year-to-date gain as of August 18, 2026.
The markets are vibrant. The markets are weak. We need to continue with the good standards, updating our processes, with engaging potential issuers, governments and private sector to introduce more instruments onto the market and to fund the development that Ghana's private sector and the government needs. And that is why for me today, the launch of this updated ESG manual, I don't think it's just for the 39 listed companies. It's for all of Ghana.
Managing Director of the Ghana Stock Exchange, Amoah. The Ghana Revenue Authority is targeting more than double the tax revenue it collected in 2024 by the end of 2028 as government moves to plug revenue leakages and improve compliance without increasing tax rates. The ambitious target was announced at the annual tax conference in Accra, where stakeholders are pushing for legal and policy reforms to strengthen Ghana's tax system. Listen to the Director General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Anthony Sapon, who says legal reforms are being considered to improve tax collection without raising existing rates.
We set ourselves an ambitious target to ensure that we can mobilize revenue for the state. So we are on a decisive trajectory to double the tax revenue we raised in 2024 which was 155 billion, to 310 billion by 2028. This is the medium-term ambition to ensure that the revenue we generated in 2024 will be doubled or more of it by 2028. The pathway, Your Excellency, is clear and we are on course. In 2025, Your Excellency, we achieved 182 billion. In 2025, we are focusing strongly to move to 225 billion. In 2027, we look to be in the region of 260 billion, and ultimately in 2028, 310 billion.
Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Anthony Sapo. Meantime, government is also defending recent tax reforms. Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman says government is committed to putting accrued tax revenues to good use. Listen.
Tax reform also requires good administration, better use of technology and data, and a relationship with taxpayers based on enforcement, service, and trust. Ghana is therefore continuing to digitize tax administration. Our VAT reforms are being supported by measures including improved systems for taxing cross-border transactions on digital platforms and the introduction of fiscal electronic devices to strengthen compliance and monitoring. We are also undertaking a broader review of Ghana's core tax legislation to simplify compliance, improve equity and competitiveness, and ensure that our tax laws keep pace with the changing economy. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, government and the Ghana Revenue Authority cannot achieve these objectives alone. Tax professionals occupy an important position between the state and the taxpayer. You interpret legislation, advise individuals and businesses, help taxpayers meet their obligations.
You heard the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, ending the news here on Joy 99.7 FM. Let's check the markets as we conclude the Joy Business Report. Crude oil dropped to $86 a barrel this morning. Gold trading at $4,484 an ounce. Cocoa added more than $100 to open trading at $6,031 a ton. On the currency market, the dollar going for 11 cedis 30 pesos. That's what major commercial banks are offering their clients. The euro 13 cedis 22 pesos. The British pound going for 15 cedis 45 pesos. The forex bureaus are quoting the dollar at 12 cedis 30 pesos. There is more news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Darryl Crown. Thanks for doing the listening. The Super Morning Show continues with Winston and the team. Looks like the lights are coming back.
Yes, we're told that the lights just are on now at 6:30. But before then, there are loads of messages that said they didn't have light. So, for instance, Kofi Akta says I live at Gbawi and was about leaving the house for a walk at around 4:10 a.m. when the lights went off. Got back at 5:40 and is still not back. Nicholas at Agomanya says we are in darkness too. Then Na in Osu says power went off in Osu, Kuku Hill around 4:20 a.m. In sleeping, I breathe aided by a medical device that runs on electricity. The outage woke me up because I started choking. I couldn't breathe. It is now 6:25. The power is still not back. This one says lights went off at dawn around 4 a.m. and Probi Sempe. Still not restored. No light in Dansuman. Good morning, Winston and team. Then Dinah says, good morning, SMS team. Osu still off. Dansuman and its environs are all off. Enjoy your show. This one says, good morning, SMS. And at Elmina in the central region, no electricity since 3:45 a.m. Isaac Kojo Amoah with this one. This one says Sakwan is also off. Lights yet to be on. by what? Pastor Chris, PhD. Okay. Zed says, good morning, Winston and team. I'm in Achimota and its environs. We don't have light now. I woke up and there was no light, and there's still no light at 6:21. I'm told the lights have just been turned on, and so please check. Okay, people are still sending.
Ransford from Dansuman High School. It says, Agbe Mikani. Yeah, Agbe Mikani. Forgive my guy. Yeah, it just to say that the lights are still off in Dansuman, I guess. Adafo also off, lights off. That's from another listener. Chado is still off. Yeah.
Yeah, Renee says lights went off around 4:20 a.m. and is still not yet on in Dodua. Okay.
OEB is also off.
This one, we're told a message from my friend Kwame Malcolm. Kwame Malcolm is the host of Radio 360's morning show in Takrady, but he listens to us before he goes on air. And he sent this one, says total outage from Gridco from all the 8 BSPs in Western and Western North. Time off was around 4:19 to 4:25. Affected customers, Western and Western North, reason unknown, is still off.
Yeah, and it's not just Accra. We're receiving messages from the Eastern region, Achim, Kuku, and Tumi, also off. Afenya off. Ethiopian Mountains also off. Sogakope also off. Yeah, so it's like
we need some answers, and we'll get those answers here on the Super Morning Show. But our inspirational song, the band Fra, Amen. Okay. Jojo, let's enjoy this one.
Hey, energy say, energy say. When I shout energy, you say, mommy vibes in the one time. Energy say, hey, energy say, oh, energy say. When I shout energy, you say, mommy vibes in the one time. Energy say, hey, energy say, 1, 2, 3, let's go, say. To receive, obey your man, bro. So you for just believe. This year your marriage could be promotion is to receive. Obey your man, bro. So you for just believe. Say money, good health, favor, long life, protection, anointing. This year we go make up. This year we the breakthrough. Amen. Amen. Oh, amen. Baba God go come through. This year, dear, you're quiet anymore. You're better cool him. Nana, and see a better say money, good health, favor, long life, protection, anointing. This year, we don't make help.
Of course, this year we go make them. Don't worry, the year's not ended yet. And so, if things are not going on well, Charlie, relax. I don't like the phrase Baba God. Baba God sounds Nigerian. God will make it. Asante.
Yeah, good morning, Papa.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. With the exception of this very, terrible power outage again. 2 weeks ago it happened and we did not get answers. Jefamampo was on the show and said they were investigating. And just like a lot of all the things we claim to investigate in this country, we don't hear what the outcome is. And for things as important as this, if we know what exactly happened, what remedial measures you are putting in place to prevent the recurrence, and if it happens again in 3 weeks, that is a bad telling. It tells us that you did not learn from what happened the
You're
last
right, but we have a friend of the show passing through this morning. Kofi Bwedi. Kofi, good morning.
Good morning, Winston.
How you doing?
We are okay. At least we managed to iron our shirts.
Then you ironed it earlier.
Well, actually, I'd woken up, right, and I saw the blips, and I said, Kai, let me go and iron the thing before it goes off.
Okay. Well, I didn't.
Oh, sorry.
I told you the last time that for me, when it comes to what I wear, what I see is what I wear.
Yeah.
So, sometimes Madame will hide those ones. Then you have to search some more.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know what I was going to wear. I was thinking of what to wear. And then the lights went off.
Yeah.
I said, okay, I have 2 Ghana must go of Batakari, smoke or fugu. So let me look for one. And that's why I'm here.
There's no ironing required.
No. If I didn't have trousers, I would have worn jeans. That's it. So I always like it. The smoke is always easy to wear, and then you're good to go. But so thank you very much for joining us, Kofi. Kofi will do the newspaper review with us this morning. But let's get into our fuel tip for today. And our fuel tip today says, before touching the nozzle, avoid actions that can create unnecessary static around fuel vapor areas. Stay calm, stay focused, and handle the nozzle carefully. Small precautions can make a big difference. GoldBod encourages safe refueling habits, and that's a fuel tip brought to us by the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies. Say It Right will come to you later, brought to us by Kingdom Books. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks, and Societe Generale Bank Ghana. The future is you.
The Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited's back to school promotion is here with us once again from August 1 to September 30 this year. Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited is offering a generous 15% discount on all school items, including pens, pencils, erasers, exercise books, and more across all our branches in Accra, Tema, Kumasi, Takrady, Winneba, and Cape Coast. Parents, teachers, and students, please hurry while stocks last. For more information, call us on 0302-764-101 or 0302-764-209 or email info@kingdomgh.com. You can also visit our website www.kingdomstoreonline.com. Kingdom Books, where quality and affordability are both assured.
So shine your eye, SG Ghana says, shine your eye when you receive urgent emails or messages about your Societe Generale Bank account. Fraudsters create fake websites that look exactly like your bank's, same logo, same color, same design. They may send you a link asking you to verify your details or risk losing access to your account. Once you enter your information, they can take control of your account. Before you click, check the link carefully. Fake links may have extra or missing letters, unusual web addresses, or shortened links that hide the real website. Never click suspicious links. When in doubt, call 0302-214-314 to verify. This message is brought to you by Societe Generale Ghana in association with the Ghana Association of Banks. Shine your eye, spot the fraud, stop the fraud. Let's learn how to say it right.
Something must be done.
You say either, I say either.
This is a public service announcement. The word is reek. W-R-E-A-K. Reek. Many people pronounce it as wreck, but that is an entirely different word with an entirely different meaning. The word wreck means to destroy or ruin, but the word reek means to inflict punishment or vengeance. It originated from the old Gothic word ricken, which means to persecute or to drive out. That is how you say it right. End of announcement.
And that's how you say it right. So let's get into the newspapers now. The newspaper review brought to us by Syntex Tanker, you're stronger, you're tough. Kale Chaco toothpaste, happy smile and style, your quality and affordable fuel for all.
Let's start with the Insight newspaper. Big relief for car buyers, importers, as new GSA enforcement rules block stolen and unsafe vehicles from abroad. And Julius Zebra urges stricter enforcement of motorcycle safety rules Opari Ado urges you to drive national development at the National Youth Forum, and Revolutionary Socialist Movement condemns political killings in Osun.
Yep. Socialist movement.
Yes.
Or is it a Socialist Forum?
Yes.
There used to be Socialist Forum. This is a Socialist movement.
Yes. Kwesi Pratt and
no, the inside sometimes comes with the views of Kwesi Pratt.
Oh, okay.
On the front page. So the whole front page is full of. But I like those views too.
Yeah.
Anyway, Kofi, what do you have?
I've got a daily guide, and the GoldBod issues are raging. They are leading with, and they've got the photographs of the two, should I say, protagonists or actors on this matter. And it says that I want to appear in Parliament. Who do you think is saying this?
Sami Jemfi?
That'd be good for Parliament. Yes, and of course, his brother, Afenyo Making, is asking that you can't claim gains and deny losses. Well, of course, the GJA president, he's talking about AI. He says AI disinformation threatens journalism, and Wuntumi's bail pending appeal is pushed to October 15.
What happens to Wuntumi's chairmanship bid then?
Yeah, well, we'll see how what it goes, because already they are saying that they are going to pick the forms anyway. Daily Graphic.
Stop that.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, the party says the guy is a political prisoner. So implicit in that is a certain repudiation of the conviction and the sentencing, and so perhaps they will set aside
is there political prisoner in the party's constitution?
Well, we'll see what they do.
No.
Even in the national constitution, political parties.
Is there political prisoner in the party's constitution?
Well, they haven't provided for that, but I mean, the idea of a political prisoner.
When
is
the party going to Congress?
10th of October.
When is Wuntumi's case?
Well, even his bill pending appeal will be heard on the 15th of October.
Magic.
Daily Graphic, GoldBod makes 5.4 billion surplus. CEO rejects minority loss claim. It's a big story on the front page of the Daily Graphic. Microplastics found in fish, and it's a threat to human health. CSIR-WRI research. A nation makes progress in expanding learning access. The World Bank speaking with a picture of Haruna Idrisu. And NMC appoints new boards for state-owned media organizations.
And let me say congratulations to the global president of UPSA alumni, Francis Dazi, who's been appointed board member for GNA. Congratulations, Mr. Francis Dazi. Yeah.
Well, if he's a global president, right, it means he'll be traveling. According to the BNF.
He travels a lot.
He travels a lot, yes. Well, then he probably uses his Ghana passport. And we're told that Ghana passport ranks 123rd globally. That's on the BNFT. And then its big story is the 10.8 billion Ghana cedi DDEP payment strengthens debt market credibility.
The Chronicle newspaper, go away. Disabled graduates refuse to hand over petition to presidential aid. Customs Commissioner versus Tema collection to boost revenue. And GoldBod did not make losses in 2025.
Okay, can we go online now?
Yes, online.
And the online news review brought to us by Zenith Bank in your best interest.
Well, let's start from myjoyonline.com. That big story. Early morning blackout disrupts power supply across several regions, and Gawa suspends strike ahead of August 25 meeting with fair wages. It's appalling, shocking. It's a killer. Rent commissioner upset over student hostel conditions. Galamsey fight must go beyond empty slogans. It requires conscious effort. The Methodist Church 24-hour markets not our responsibility. Guzi Town or Distance Secretariat from project, and rent commissioner questions licensing of student hostels after startling campus inspections.
Well, on City Newsroom, it has stories on Galamsey, and it says that the Methodist Church calls for action beyond prayers. AMA bans Aboboya from using inner lanes on Accra roads. Wuntumi's incarceration won't stop his MPP chairmanship bid. And, of course, GAUA suspends strike to allow further talks with FWSC, Fair Wages and Salaries Commission.
That's a good one. Those of us who have things to do at the university, when they go on strike like that, it affects you. Yeah. So I'm happy that they've resumed. I mean, over the past week, I'd wanted to get in touch with the registrar of the Office of Doctoral Programs at UPSA, but they were on strike.
Yeah.
So now that they're back,
you can reach out.
Those of us who are here to submit our thesis, we can reach out and see what happens. Okay, so it means we can get into the details.
Yes, let me start with this story on myjoyonline.com because it's affecting everyone about the power outage early morning blackout disrupts power supply across several regions, started by Ernest Ahimfo. A major power outage has affected several parts of Ghana, leaving homes, businesses, and other facilities without electricity in the early hours of Thursday. The disruption was widely felt in Accra, where residents in areas including Adabraka, Weja, Tesano, Achimota, Jolo, Legon, Medina, Denta, North Kaneshie, and Oyarefa began reporting outages from about 4:15 a.m. Parts of the eastern central Ashanti regions were also said to have experienced interruptions. As of the time of reporting, the cause of the outage had not been established, and the power authorities had also not indicated when the supply will be restored. The latest incident comes barely 3 weeks after another widespread power interruption on July 29, which affected parts of Accra, Tema, Kaswa, Ashanti, and eastern regions. And the recurrence of the disruptions is likely to fuel fresh concerns about the reliability of the national electricity supply, with affected residents expressing frustration over the outage on social media. So, I remember I was right here when that outage happened. Kujakoto Boatin was here discussing it, and we spoke to Jifa Bampo, and who gave us an indication that we were going to investigate it. It was an outage that had grid systems had collapsed, sort of, and we're going to investigate and find what exactly happened and put in place remedial measures. I mean, for the same scale of that disruption to happen 3 weeks on, it tells us that either we did not find what exactly happened then, and as of now we don't know what caused the first disruption in days, or we found it and we have not been able to put in place the remedial measures, either because we don't have money, we haven't had the resources to be able to do that. And it's not good that a country like this, Ghana, will have nationwide blackout, nationwide disruption of this scale. What is going on?
You see, accountability is such that there is always supervision, monitoring, oversight, reporting, but also key to accountability beyond the recognition of authority are sanctions. And it's one thing we don't do in this country. Look, it would surprise you, I wouldn't be surprised that right after the outage, they fixed it and everybody went to sleep. Business as usual. Nothing has happened. Because again, we will not report. There will be nothing to show that something happened that must not happen tomorrow. I use a prepaid meter. The expectation is that if you take my light, you should let me know.
Yeah.
But that's not what happens. ECG, I must say, at the Accra East region where I live, the original manager, Bismarck Otu, he's a great guy, fantastic guy. And the team there, when you call them that your lights are off, they would explain to you, oh, this is what has happened. We're fixing, the challenges. But we're told that the back supply points, like my friend Kwame Malcolm shared with me, all the way from Takrade, and because it's a forwarded message, I understand where it probably may be coming from, that the bulk supply points are all off. How is it possible that in Greater Accra, supply points are off? Yeah. In the western and western north regions, they're off. Some areas in the central region, we've had messages from Elmina saying they're off. And someone just sent me a message that they checked that in Nkoko, they also do not have light. What's wrong with us?
Yeah.
Well, it's serious, but I'm also aware that we invested in mechanisms or a system that could help bring the power back on as quickly as possible. Again, Kwaku, as you're asking, we need the answers, and maybe as citizens, we need to be excited enough to demand that the people who are in office provide the answers that we ask.
And talking about answers, we know that, ECG and the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition, they told us how they were changing bulk supply, how they were changing transformers and everything, which meant that they had identified certain problems. Okay? And how they felt that it was important to change equipment. Now, the economists say a problem well defined is half solved. So, what has happened? Look, I don't like the money conversation.
Yeah.
Because we've seen increases in electricity tariff.
Yeah.
So let nobody come and say an institution supplying power to the state is under-resourced.
Yeah.
No. In fact, they should do the right thing.
Yeah.
And when you go to public hearings of the PURC, whenever it's time for tariff adjustment, Sometimes they bring huge tariff because they want ECG, PRC to give them what they want. Because they say whatever you bring, they'll reduce it. We know what is happening.
Yeah.
The right things must be done. Gridco, let me say good morning to Jifa Bampo. Jifa, we are waiting on you.
Yes.
The release will come, and I think we should pay attention to this story. You know, AMA bans Aboboya from using inner lanes on Accra roads, and they are everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, coming in and cutting out on your blind side. And the AMA says he has banned tricycle operators. Of course, we know that Aboboya from using the inner lanes of Accra's roads. And the directive forms part of the Assembly's measures to improve road safety and reduce accidents involving tricycles. Speaking to journalist, Accra Mayor Michael Kwaku Alote said Aboboya operators must use designated side roads where they are available. And this is an issue for me. The side roads where they are available. So where they are not available, what do we do?
Aboboya should not even be on the highway anyway.
Exactly.
Using the inner lane or the outer lane. I mean, Aboboya should be confined to the communities doing the menial stuff they are supposed to be doing.
So if you come to a place like Abukobi where I live, beg your pardon, you find these pragia and all of that, working. That's okay. But using using the highway, it's a problem. Okay, it's a problem. And sometimes the reason they cause accidents also, they can see that there's a vehicle coming.
Yeah.
They still want to join the road.
They feel they are right of way.
No. So I'm happy that the AMA is taking the lead. I have been of this view for some time. Yesterday I was saying it here that, they should be banned from using the highway.
Part of the reason why we don't have the courage to be able to do so is because the state has failed in transportation and sanitation. So Aboboyas and all the pragias have stepped in. If you ban all the Aboboyas from collecting the bola, the refuse that the state is unable to collect, then you're going to have a filth problem. So AMA knows that because he has not been able to collect the refuse from people's homes and charge them, obviously you're not doing that for free, and Aboboyas have stepped in. You cannot ban them. And that is why on the N1, enough you see Aboboyas in a convoy with refuse open for everybody to smell it. What is going on?
Look, there's something I think we can do. We can actually look when it comes to sanitation, for instance. We can actually get the assemblies to collect, the sanitation fees, and then pay the waste management companies. Because the waste management companies also, they go for these arrangements with the assemblies and they don't go and collect the waste. But I'm also aware of the challenge of getting the assemblies to go and collect. They'll go and employ people who will collect, these fees. And at the end of the day, will not even make profit. The expectation would be that the assemblies would get people to collect the property rate. And in the property rate would be sanitation. Okay? Put all of that in and give a percentage to the people. And then you're good to go. But if that is not what you want to do, then the franchise companies, these companies will be given a franchise to collect. The assemblies must make sure they do the right thing. Because if they do not collect, Asante and Kofi Bwedi, what you would see is that Aboboyas will come and collect. But I always make reference to where I live. Okay. Now, whenever the company, waste management is unable to come, they would indicate they can't make it. So there will be a communication to members living in the estate that the waste truck would not be here tonight. So please don't bring your waste out. They would communicate the day they'll be in. Where they are unable to come and they say that their truck is spoiled, the estate leadership would ensure that they get another truck and come and collect it.
Your neighborhood, we need to learn from you guys.
This guy is living in an estate full of mansions, full of rich people. So they have their way of managing this thing. But those of us who live in Medina, Atome Junction, Kaneshi, open-ended houses and other things, where we are renting some chamber and hall, we don't have these kind of systems. And that's why the state must help us. But you people who live in Trasaco and the likes, big houses.
Just so
organized settlements.
Say that I am please.
But you live in an estate.
I live in an estate.
Yes.
I live
a well-planned estate.
Okay. Oh, you relax. I live at Amokobi. just so nobody says that I am doing settings, I don't live at Trasacco.
Yes, but
Uh-huh.
I was just saying, but your place, me, I've passed there before. The kind of buildings people have there, compared to Trasacco, and some of them are bigger than the ones that your 7-bedroom like that over there with the indoor pool and outdoor pool.
I have a son. I don't need 7 bedrooms for anything.
Yeah. But you have 7 bedrooms.
I don't. I don't need it. I don't need 7 bedrooms.
So we can replicate some of these things.
I have told you, Asante, I have told you that my belief is that give your son the best education in a business.
Certainly.
He will decide what he will do for himself. We need to go for the BBC News. And thank you very much, Kofi Bwedi. BBC News brought to us by Fidelity Bank. Believe with us. Glyco, we cushion you for life. And Bell Malt, shine your greatness. Bell Malt, a new malt experience.
Business Daily is in 30 minutes.
Behind every prompt, image and answer, a huge data centers consuming land, water and ever more electricity. As technology companies and governments race to build them, communities are pushing back. So why do we need so many, and what will it take to quell the backlash?
This is the BBC World Service, the world's radio station.
Welcome to the inquiry on the BBC World Service.
Morocco is at a crossroad. You find mega projects everywhere. In terms of infrastructure, it's booming.
But the benefits are not universal.
A significant part of the population feels that none of the political parties will be able to implement any kind of reform that would be able to change their lives meaningfully.
There's a general election in September.
The need for change, for economic stability, for effective service delivery, that's a national issue. That is not just something that is limited to youth.
This week we're asking, can elections restore Moroccans' faith in their country?
When you have high rates of participation, then citizens can select the political party that can serve their interests.
I'm Charmaine Cozier. Join me on the inquiry after the news.
BBC News with Danielle Yawowiecka. The founder of the failed Chinese property firm Evergrande has been sentenced to life in jail and had all his belongings confiscated. Hui Ka-yan oversaw the rapid expansion of Evergrande into China's biggest real estate firm before it collapsed. From Beijing, Stephen McDonnell reports.
Evergrande Group was once a pillar of the country's economy, and its collapse, mired in financial mismanagement, has been a key factor in the current property crisis. Now its founder, Hui Ka-yan, has been sentenced to life in prison. The Shenzhen Intermediate People's Court found that the amounts he embezzled, the losses his company had imposed on others, and the exceptionally serious harm done to society all warranted severe punishment. Amongst his crimes, Hui was found to have fabricated statements to artificially inflate the value of assets and to have hidden company liabilities.
The United States national debt has hit $40 trillion, its highest ever figure. The debt has more than doubled over the last decade, growing at a rate of $1 trillion every 5 months. Surging government spending, including on wars, tax cuts and ballooning interest payments are behind the rise. Maura Fogarty reports.
For many economists and investors, what's worrying is how quickly the U.S. national debt reached $40 trillion, more than doubling over the last decade. About a third of the increase in government borrowing occurred during the first 2 years of the COVID-19 pandemic, when both Presidents Donald Trump and Joe Biden ramped up spending in response. A more persistent and significant factor is the long-running budget deficit. For the past 25 years, the U.S. government has been spending more than what it receives in tax receipts, and there's little to signal that the budget deficit will ease.
President Trump has said he'll launch new economic measures against Iran and any country helping or doing business with it. In a social media post, he said this was because Iran had failed to make a deal with the United States. He gave no further details and didn't name any other country. Ukrainian officials say at least 12 people have been killed and more than 30 others injured by a wave of Russian missile strikes on Kyiv. Apartment blocks, a school and a children's hospital were among the buildings damaged. Dan Johnson reports from the Ukrainian capital.
This was the intense attack on Kyiv, which started around midnight local time.
Air raid sirens sounded across the city, quickly followed by the impact of around 20 Russian missiles. Targets are as yet unclear, but a children's hospital and a school were damaged and power supplies were disrupted for some communities. There are reports of people trapped in a residential building and a bomb shelter. An intense fire could be seen burning on the city's outskirts.
Dan Johnson reporting. You're listening to the World News from the BBC. A former Syrian military officer who served in the Assad regime has been extradited from Lebanon to face trial. Major General Adel Issa is the first military official handed over by Lebanon to Syria since Bashar al-Assad's toppling in 2024. The new Syrian authorities accuse Mr. Issa of murder, torture and sectarianism during the brutal civil war. Several other former military officers are believed to be in Lebanon. 4 workers who were removing weeds at a rail platform in Japan have been struck by a train and killed. The incident occurred mid-morning at a station in Kanuma City, about 100 kilometres north of Tokyo. The accident is particularly shocking as Japan has one of the best rail safety records in the world. The BBC has been told that Prince Harry and his wife Meghan are planning to move back to Britain. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have been living in the United States since they stepped down as working royals 6 years ago. Our senior royal correspondent, Daniela Relf, reports.
Sources close to the couple say they loved being back and seeing family during their visit to the UK last month, and that drove their decision to return. The King was not consulted and was told of the decision on Sunday. He is said to be pleased that he'll be able to more easily spend time privately with the Sussex family. There has been no comment from Prince William. The couple will live outside of London. Exactly where is being kept private, and it's unclear what security provision the family will have.
Daniela Rolfe reporting. The young Korean who features in the most watched YouTube video of all time, Baby Shark Dance, has released his first K-pop single a decade after he first found fame. Now aged 17, Park Young-won has released a track called Wave under the moniker Baby Shark Boy. The original video has more than 17 billion views. BBC News.
I don't want to stress. I want the soft life. I want to have more time, make catch up life. I send money, I pay my bills, I buy airtime. Oh, I dig the soft life. Abracadabra seems like magic, API magic. I don't need to carry money on me with Fidelity cards, I just need to swipe. Oh, I dig the soft life. Oh, soft life, GHQR. I take my phone when I scan it. Payment complete, Fidelity RP so sleep. Oh, I dig the soft life. Say hello to Kwaku at the chatbot. Yeah, she's gonna simplify your digital banking. Fidelity digital banking, the new dimension. Dig the soft life. Modege, me say modege. Dig, 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 dig. Dig the soft life. Dig, 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 dig. Dig the soft life.
Fidelity Bank. Believe with us. Looking for a location that gives your business a competitive edge? Dawa Industrial Zone offers world-class facilities, direct access to major trade hubs, and a thriving business ecosystem. Whether you are setting up in the manufacturing, logistics, or services, our ready-to-use industrial spaces and supportive policies make expansion easy. Visit www.diz-ghana.com or call 055-20-40,000. Dawa Industrial Zone, where businesses thrive.
Go day, say a party, mini me a chomo, crunchy, chilling with friends, mini me a chomo, tasty, take chuck your hunger, mini me a chomo, crunchy, break time please, mini me a chomo, tasty, mini me a chomo, mini me a chomo, mini me a chomo, come and taste the fun, mini me a chomo, mini me a chomo, mini me a chomo, come and taste the fun. For the laughter, mini, 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 a chomo. All the parties, mini, 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 a
This advert is FDA approved.
Experience more. Doing business, making payments, supporting loved ones in China should bring peace of mind. Not waiting. Waiting for your supplier to confirm payment. Waiting for school fees to arrive. Waiting. Introducing SIPS by Stanbic in partnership with ICBC, a faster, simpler way to send and receive money directly between Ghana and China. Pay in Ghana cedis while your recipient receives Chinese yuan and vice versa. With SIPS by Stanbic, you enjoy faster payment confirmation and greater certainty every step of the way. Visit stanbicbank.com.gh/SIPS for more. Stanbic Bank, we are your bank, connected to China. Stanbic Bank, driving Ghana's growth.
Introducing Ghana's leading pay-as-you-copy photocopier leasing company. Lease an A4, A3, heavy-duty or production machine and pay for only the copies made or design your own payment plan. Simple and tietia. That's not all. Incredibly, toners, repairs, maintenance, follow-me printing, centralized tracking all come free of charge. Remember, financial prudence is the name of the game. Folks, forget about the expensive gimmicks and be smart. Join the hundreds of satisfied clients across all the 16 regions and every sector of the economy and save over 60% of your printing costs. Visit us at www.valexlease.com or call 0244 644048. Be prudent and lease a copier. Terms and conditions apply. Valex Lease is a wholly owned Ghanaian company. Valex Lease, affordable document management solutions.
Not again. And I need to return this car by Friday. No money and payday is 3 weeks away. How do I fix this? How? Bank loan, account setup, long process. Nah, forget it. Let me see if Fafa can help.
Yes. Fafa from Bank of Africa can sort you out fast. From engine repairs to school fees or side hustle support, Quick Fix Loan from Bank of Africa is here for you. Call 030-224-9690 or chat Fafa at boaghana.com and take advantage of the Quick Fix Loan for salaried workers offered at an unbeatable interest rate with no cash deposit required. Home runs from now to 31st October. T's and C's apply.
Hey, Fafa, wait here. Papa.
Bank of Africa, as strong as a group.
Close as a partner, Bank of Africa lifting you higher.
You know what our father left us when he died?
All of a sudden, a controversy has erupted over rent. It's a different kind of rent. It is rent that has to do with hostels, tackling the rent and hostels crisis. And we've seen students across the country protesting. There have been protests already in the Asante region, and we've also seen a massive clash between the private hostels and the rent control. But at the heart of this is the bigger question of accommodating tertiary students that has become one of those recurring difficulties that as a country we haven't fixed. I remember more than 2 decades ago, there were protests by nukes, led by some of the current political leaders over accommodation on campuses. It's always been an issue. Government had invested in building residential facilities on the various campuses, but that hasn't solved the problem. That deficit is huge. And then we saw the private hostels come in to try and bridge that gap. But over the last few years, and I'll show you very staggering data, the private hostels appear to be taking very good advantage of the gap left by the government, the public, our inability to provide the needed accommodation for all of our friends and children who go to the universities and the various tertiary institutions across the country. Is a big deal, but it faces a bigger challenge of the housing deficit that we have, and so it's now having a knock-on effect on tertiary education. So let's look at this latest controversy that has erupted and why this has become such a major issue now, because it started with nukes, and nukes has been at the forefront of this for a long time, decades, fighting. First, it was just simply the lack, the inadequacy of the accommodation on campus, because the private sector wasn't involved at all. It was all borne by the state, right? And so there was a lot of protest about government investing in providing accommodation. And then the private sector then came into play, and that has created a whole new problem about affordability, about cost, and a lot of people have been priced out. So Nooks then put a petition together and sent a petition demanding some answers. The petition obviously went to the rent control. They wanted an investigation into the hostel pricing. They also wanted enforcement compliance with the rent laws, but they were also looking for sanctions against landlords who are violating the terms of the law and establishing clear student hostel pricing, and then create a safe student and compliant channels, the complaint channels. Now, the thing about this is you're dealing with the private sector. How do you regulate the pricing of a product and service when it comes to the private sector? Where we know is dictated by market forces. That is a big challenge. The government is having to grapple with, even the rent control is having to do it. And tonight we'll try and understand what's happening and where the solutions lie. But this is the picture that forced the Nooks, the student union, to take action. If you look at the fees gap between the traditional halls of residences, that's the residences that are provided by the universities themselves, the tertiary institutions themselves, as in public funded halls of residence, and the private hostels, the gap is jaw-dropping. You're talking about almost 3,000 cedi difference in terms of the cost per year. So if you live in one of those state-funded residential facilities on campus, you're possibly paying, and this is, by the way, on the average for this is KNUST, the cheapest, you're talking about 2,168 cedis, right? And if you're looking for a private hostel, and this could be more, depending on what is available, what the amenities you are in, and the choice and your taste, you could pay 5,000 cedis a year, and we are taking the lower band of the cost here, and you're looking in lower band to lower band. The difference is 2,836. You're talking about 32. You're talking about almost 3,000 cedis difference between what you would have paid if you were staying on campus in the university accommodation or the tertiary accommodation, and if you were renting a hostel. So immediately you see that the inequality gap there is just jaw-dropping between those who manage to find campus accommodation, those who have to stay in private hostels. And so we then saw the rent commissioner taking up that particular petition and then cracking down. They did a few things. They started inspecting hostels, and they wanted to then standardize the pricing and tenancy arrangement. And they wanted to crack the whip and force advanced rent limits, because some of the hostels were charging ridiculous number of months for students to pay, and which again was pricing a lot of them out. Impose lawful rent increment and then sanctioning exploitative hostels. But you're dealing with the private sector, and they'll say they have their rights over their domain and let market forces decide this. And so there was a contest now over whether or not the rent commissioner, whether he has the authority, the power, the legal authority to do what they were attempting to do. And then they pulled out the law that sets them up, the Rent Act. And they pointed us to Section 25(5). That says that they can demand more, you cannot demand more than 6 months.
It's 17 minutes after 7, and it's a Thursday morning, but what's the electricity situation, the power situation where you are, okay? Now, many of you have sent in messages, but we want to hear from you. We're activating the phone lines now, so you can hear us, so you can tell us where you are and where the situation is. But let's please do it briefly in 30 seconds. The phone lines have been activated on 0302-216-541 and then 055-1111-997. Kokwa Asante, I'm told that Gridco has issued a statement.
Yes, Gridco has just put out a statement, and this is a system disturbance and power restoration update. The Ghana Grid Company Limited wishes to inform the general public that approximately 4:30 a.m. today, the national power system experienced a major fault on the Akosombo Volta transmission line. The fault resulted in the automatic tripping of the Akosombo generating unit and some thermal generating plants as part of the system protection mechanism to safeguard the integrity of the national interconnected transmission system. This consequently resulted in the loss of power to some parts of the country. Immediately following the incident, Gridco engineers, working in close coordination with other power sector agencies, took steps to isolate the affected transmission line and commence the safe and systematic restoration of the power system. Power supply has already been restored to some affected areas, and restoration efforts are progressively, steadily are progressing steadily to ensure that supply is restored to all remaining affected customers. Gridco, as always, regrets the inconvenience caused by this temporary outage and assures the general public that all relevant technical teams have been fully mobilized and are on site working to achieve complete restoration of power. And then further updates will come like the last time. So they are talking about their Kosumbu voter for fault line. That is their problem, and they say they've isolated that and they are working on it.
Okay, so it means we can get onto the phone lines now, and let's start in Kaswa, where Joshua is. Joshua, good morning.
Yeah, morning.
You have light?
No light. We went off at 4:30 a.m.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Joshua, for joining us. You can also join us and tell us, where you are and the power situation. 0302 216 541 and then 055 1111 997.
It's also Winston about people telling us about their power situation, and if you look at the situation, it's almost nationwide in the kind of situation we have currently. And so let's get on to the console and talk. And this one says, I'm in Cape Coast, specifically at this Southern College. My light is off here too. Our beloved country Ghana. Isaac Newton sent us that one. Now, Inosu says, power went off in Usukuku Hill around 4:20 a.m. In sleeping, I breathed aided by a medical device that runs on electricity. The outage woke me up because I started choking. I couldn't breathe. It's now 6:25 a.m. The power is still not back.
Let's get back onto the phone lines. And Hamza is in Ashaiman. Hamza, good morning.
Good morning.
It's machine. Let's go to Suhum Maudem. Maudem, good morning.
Good morning, Winston.
Yes, Maudem. Do you have light?
Yes, please. It got reported about 10 minutes ago.
Oh, that's good.
My regards to Kwaku.
Your regards to Kwaku.
See, who comes with me? I'm from Nangasi, so Charlie, shout out to my people over there, my G's and my friends in Nangasi and Zoom. Yes, my people.
Thank you very, very much, Maudem. Gogo Asante. Why, Gogo Asante? You do you have plans of representing?
No, you have to shout out your people, just in case.
Or your politician. Sir John says whenever he's on air, and sometimes people are calling. Let's go to Adan, where Celestina is. Celestina, good morning.
Good morning, I'm Winston. How are you?
God is still taking care of his children. How about you?
I'm great.
You have light?
No.
Oh, when did your lights go off?
I woke up around 4:45 and there was no light.
Okay.
And so now it hasn't come.
Okay. Thank you very, very much, Celestina. So in Adan, Celestina says no light. She woke up at 4:45. Sometimes you wake up because of the heat when the lights go off. You wake up only to realize that you don't have electricity. But let's go to North Kaneshi, where Ato is. Ato, good morning. Oh, I think we may have lost Ato. Ato, can you try and get... Okay, he's on. Ato, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Winston.
Yes, Ato, do you have light this morning?
No, we don't have lights.
When did it go off?
Around 4:20.
4:20. Okay. Thank you very much, Ato, for joining us. You can also join us. We can pick a few more of your calls on 0302216541 and then 0551111 Okay.
Hoy says, Hoy off. Nicholas Agomenya, still no light from Opoku. He says, Taifa, still off. Kapohin in Tema is also off from in Tamale, I should say, from Thomas Atibila inside Tamale in the northern region. Winston and team, good morning. Lights are off at Iron City near Kaswa, Albert.
Let's go to New Ningo, where Nicholas is. Nicholas, good morning.
Good morning. We are doing well.
Oh, God is still taking care of us. Do you have lights?
Yes. No, I am coming from Agomenya, right? I sent a message earlier.
Yes, we read it.
I was working on my laptop and it went off. The light went off. As I'm talking to you, I'm at Afienya. So no light here. From Agomenya to Afienya, there is no light as I'm talking to you. I'm going back to my end at New Ningo. I'm yet to get there. But however, from Agomenya to Afienya, as I'm talking to you, there is no light.
Thank you very much, Nicholas, for joining us. And Nilante is at Bawe Zero. Nilante, good morning.
Good morning, boss.
Do you have lights?
No, the lights went off this morning. Around 4:20 there.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The unfortunate thing is that, although I have not confirmed, in most cases when the light is off like that, it affects our water.
Mm-hmm.
So we end up not getting water in the field.
Okay. Thank you very much, Neil Ante, who will be our last caller for now. We can't pick any more of your calls. Thank you to all of you who shared, these thoughts with us. For all of you who don't have electricity, we're following up. Gridco says they're working on it, and now they have an idea the areas that have been affected. And because of the power challenges also, we know that, the traffic lights are not functioning. A lot of we don't do a lot of solar traffic lights in this country. So please, we're pleading with you, motorists, to be very careful on our roads. Okay? Yes, this morning when I was coming to work, in all the areas where I normally would fear that I'll be, the traffic lights turn and then you would have to stay in there, the traffic lights were not functioning. But also, once you know, it means you have to be careful. So please, let's be careful, okay? Let's be careful. Once you get to the crossroads or the intersections, please take your time. Make sure it's safe to move before you do so, okay? Let's make sure that we all arrive alive. But also coming up this morning here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM, $1.7 billion, who? COSAM. But most importantly, how do we ensure that we can engage in a domestic gold purchase program, get all the forex we need, and not make losses? For me, that is the most important thing, and that'll be the focus of our conversation here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. And this morning also, MTN will be joining us. They are the sponsors of our Sustainability Month, and as we talk sustainability, it's important to also find out from MTN what they make of sustainability and how they're ensuring sustainability for all their clients, including you, Kwaku Asante.
Mm-hmm.
But the roads minister, Kwame Gavin Sagboja.
Yes, my man.
Yes, Kwame Gavin Sagboja, my senior from Mauli School.
Oh.
He's doing wonders. But he's asked, Maripuma Enterprise Limited to complete the Tamamoto Way by 2027. Okay. Now, during a Wednesday inspection, he says he notes that 10% extra progress since his last visit, and praised the contractor for finishing a major bridge ahead of schedule without incident despite the intersection staying in use throughout. The question is, for those of you who use the motorway, how is the experience? I'm interested in that. How is the experience? How is the experience daily, going to work and back? How do you feel? Okay, share these experiences with us here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. But look, Asante, we don't talk enough about how stressful it can be to figure out what nourishing breakfast to give kids every morning. Charlie, no easy.
No easy.
One day you'll get there. And that's why Milo All-in-One is such a great option. It has a creamy, delicious taste kids can't have enough of. But there's more to Milo All-in-One than the rich, milky, chocolatey taste. There's so much goodness in every pack. Just take a moment to read the back of pack and see for yourself. It's important nutrients combined with malt that supports energy release, cocoa for that rich taste, and milk for calcium to support them as they grow. So keep choosing Milo All-in-One, not just for that special taste, but also for the nourishing goodness. Milo Energy to go further.
Yeah, talking about all the good things you can do for your kids. CAS Christian Boarding School is calling. Career parents, let's be honest with each other. You leave home at 5, traffic, meetings, one more call before you can go. You get back at 8 and you're tired, and you still want your child taught well, fed well, and prayed over. That's a lot of burden to carry alone. We have come to help career parents. We take children from 2 years right through to JHS. Small classes, proper meals, homework supervised, and devotion every day in a safe, Christ-centered home at Nsawam Akwemu. Admissions are ongoing. For more information, visit our website at www.caschristian.com, and CAS is K, or call us on 0557-059214 or 0557-059215. CAS Christian Boarding School, a caring home away from home.
So from now till the end of October 2026, Bank of Africa, they are offering short-term loans at very slim rates. Charlie, to salaried workers, because they understand you have urgent needs to sort out. And that's why they give you that quick turnaround time. So whether it's school fees, car maintenance, or Asante, that much deserved family vacation. Bank of Africa will sort you out fast. Visit the nearest branch or chat Fafa at boaghana.com to sign up. I think I need to, it's a good package. You may also WhatsApp them on 0244 338 2226 for inquiries. Terms and conditions apply. Sometimes all you need is a quick fix. Bank of Africa, strong as a group, as close as a partner.
Looking for the chillest man in Ghana? Meet Mr. Osei. He insured his car with Enterprise Insurance. So when the unexpected happened, he simply chilled. People say Entowada. But at Enterprise Insurance, we are changing the narrative. We say Entowada. If it happens, chill, because we've got you covered. Whether it's your car, home, travel, or business, Enterprise Insurance gives you the confidence to face life's uncertainties, knowing we'll be there when life needs you the most. Don't wait until it's too late. Get insured today on the Enterprise Advantage app, call or WhatsApp 0539700109. Enterprise Insurance, your advantage.
Well, Asante, I just got a message from my friend Rasmiao.
Rasmiao.
So he's called Jabbar Joshua. He's actually the one who called us first from Kaswa.
Okay.
How did I miss that?
Yeah.
Rasmiao, that name. Anyway, Omni Basic Bank wants to ask you a quick question. Would you leave your front door wide open before going to bed? Of course not. Nobody would do that. So why give away your PIN or one-time password OTP? These details are private and for your eyes only. Remember, do not disclose your PIN or OTP. If anyone asks for them, that's a red flag. Avoid clicking suspicious links, and in case of any doubt, always pause, think and verify. Shine your eyes and protect your accounts. Stop the fraud. Spot the fraud. Stop the fraud. For assistance, call Omni Basic Bank on 0307 086,000. Omni Basic Bank, not just another bank.
From today, enjoy more bath time for less with Geisha soap. Get your favorite Geisha aloe, rose, lemon, shea butter, and coconut 180 gram for 10 Ghana cedis, and your Geisha black soap 180 gram for 12 Ghana cedis too. Visit a shop or supermarket for yours now. Geisha, gift from nature, wrapped by Geisha. Get out of the reach of children, and this advert is FDA approved.
Let's talk water tanks now, and I'm sure by now you know the secret to real water storage. It's simple. If your tank doesn't have the tortoise on it, then that's not the correct tank, because the tortoise tank Syntex tank is a champion of water tanks, strong, durable, and built to handle a Ghanaian weather, rain or shine. Syntex tank has your back. So my people, go outside, check your tank, and if it doesn't have the tortoise on it, Charlie, it's time to upgrade. Join the Syntex tank family today and enjoy water storage that stuff like a tortoise. Call 0244 335 168 to buy now, or find one of their 400 agents nationwide. You can also shop online at syntexgh.com. Syntex tank, strong, tough.
Introducing Valex Lease Equip Limited, Ghana's leading photocopier leasing company. Why buy a multifunctional photocopier when you can lease and pay as you copy and print? Or design your own payment plan. Lease an A4, A3 heavy-duty MFP with sorter, stapler, finisher, production machine with sorter, stapler, finisher, and enjoy free toners, cartridges, free repairs, free maintenance, follow me printing, centralized monitoring of all staff, and nationwide coverage. Forget about the unnecessary expensive gimmicks and save yourself over 60% the cost. Join the hundreds of satisfied customers across every sector and all the 16 regions and lease an MFP from us. Visit us at www.valexlease.com or call us on 0244644048 0535208661 0208603312. Remember, Valex Lease is a wholly owned Ghanaian company. Valex Lease, affordable document management solutions.
And have you heard about the incredible benefits of Exilium from Total Energies? Well, let me tell you more about this premium fuel with its amazing 3-in-1 power. Total Energies introduces Exilium new formula, the additive enriched fuel, with its amazing 3-in-1 action that cleans your engine, extends its life, and lowers your fuel consumption, thanks to the cumulative effect of its anti-corrosion, anti-wear, and detergent additives. Exilium new formula also lowers your vehicle's fuel consumption while reducing CO2 emissions. You will drive, sir. Experience the difference with Total Energies Exilium new formula. Choose Exilium. Choose quality.
The Ghana Exim Bank and North Shore Apparel Ghana Limited is proudly presenting the official opening of Phase 1 of the North Shore Apparel Hub, a wholly Ghanaian-owned apparel manufacturing enterprise operating within the 24-hour economy initiative and located at Savilego. Funded by the Ghana Exim Bank and other partners, the North Shore Apparel Hub will officially open on Friday, 28 August 2026. It will create about 3,000 jobs upon commissioning and about 10,000 jobs at full operation. His Excellency the President John Mahama will perform the official opening, assisted by the Minister for Trade Honorable Elizabeth Ofosue-Jare and the Chief Executive of the Ghana Exim Bank, Honorable Sylvester Mensah. The date is Friday, 28 August at 12 noon. The venue is North Shore Apparel Hub, Savelegu, near Tamale in the northern region.
Well, if you do business with China, you know that making payment isn't always straightforward. For businesses, it often means sourcing US dollars, absorbing multiple currency conversion costs, and waiting for days for suppliers to receive payment. For importers, every delay can hold up shipments and slow down sales. And for individuals paying school fees, medical expenses, or supporting loved ones in China, the process can be longer and more complicated than it needs to be. Stanbic Bank, in partnership with the Industrial Commercial Bank of China, has introduced CIPS, CIPS, a faster, secure and direct way to make payments to China. With CIPS, you can pay in Ghana cedis while the recipient collects in Chinese yuan directly. This way, you save money and time. Trade with China, pay directly. Visit your nearest Stanbic Bank branch or speak to your relationship manager today. Stanbic Bank, call them on 0302-815-789.
So for those of us who don't take alcohol, Bell Malt non-alcoholic malt, the drink, the original, is back. Reloaded with a bang, bringing you an enjoyable malt refreshment every day. Its taste has been reimagined to be smoother, creamier, and more refreshing than ever before. Carefully crafted with quality ingredients, the new Bell Malt is made for everyone who celebrates their greatness every day. Whether you're at work, at home, spending time with the family and friends, or simply taking a well-deserved break, the new Bell Malt non-alcoholic malt drink is a refreshing companion for every occasion. Enjoy the rich malt taste and make every moment worth celebrating. Join the movement. Visit your nearest store to experience the new Bell Malt and share your Bell Malt moments on Instagram and TikTok at Bell Beverages GH. For bulk orders, contact us on 0544 335900 or 0544 335800. Bell Malt, shine your greatness. Bell Malt, a new malt experience.
So live here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. Stay with us. We'll return with birthday messages, sports, and food for thought here on the Super Morning Show. We'll be right back.
30 years ago, MTN arrived in Ghana and everything changed. Now, to celebrate 30 years, we are giving back big time. The MTN at 30 promo is here. 9 Toyota Land Cruiser Prados to be won. Over 10 million Ghana cedis in rewards, plus so much more. Connect to your everyday hustle on MTN. Make video calls. Browse the internet for business with family and friends. Connect your home to MTN Fiber. Make that money move on Momo and stay ahead because every move counts. Ghana, let's celebrate 30 years of MTN with the MTN at 30 promo. Use more MTN services, build more points, and win big. Dial *530# or visit the My MTN app for more.
For 130 years, Standard Chartered has been there for Ghana and for you, supporting your financial aspirations and driving your business ambitions, opening doors to new possibilities, turning small dreams into big realities, and bringing banking to the palm of your hands. For 130 years, we have been there, empowering the next generation to soar higher. And as always, we believe we can achieve even more together. This year, as we celebrate 130 years of operations in Ghana, we look into the future with you because we are bringing 130 years of expertise to power your wealth and business ambitions, 130 years of heritage to power your aspirations. Let's partner for progress. Standard Chartered, here for good.
Mom, please can I have some milk in my Milo?
Have you tasted it?
No, but I didn't see you add milk.
Hey, taste it before you ask me any question.
Hey, milk na chemu say.
This is Milo all in one. Milo Pampa, cocoa, malt, milk and show, everything is inside.
Milo All-in-One already comes with more milk. Just mix with water and taste the nourishing goodness of quality cocoa, malt, and more milk all in one sachet. Milo, the energy to go further.
This advert is FDA approved.
Remember shit that your mama made for home church all of and watch it. Back to school with Kenke. It's here, come chop today. Did this shit to home and taste. 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 Onion, ginger, garlic blend. Flavor you there. Pepper shrimp and fish inside. If you're no preservative, just herbs and spice. Natural we taste, spicy we eat. The dish it home taste. Corner chewy taste. Matter your choice to make. Spicy taste like mama made. The dish it home taste. The dish it home taste. The dish it home taste. The dish it home taste.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Welcome back. Time now for birthday messages here on the Super Morning Show, brought to us by MTN. Everywhere you go, Bank of Africa and the Ghana Association of Banks say shine your eye. If you don't share it, they can't have it. Spot the fraud, stop the fraud. And Franco Trading Enterprise, still phone Papa Pafie. We'll bring you the birthday messages shortly, which means we can get into the Sports Center, proudly brought to us by MTN. Switch to MTN's eSIM. Download my MTN app to go seamless today. Standard Chartered Bank, here for good. DSTV, your home of entertainment and high sense everyday prices for everyday people.
For over 130 years, Standard Chartered Bank has been more than a bank. We've been a partner in progress, from helping establish Ghana's financial system to building businesses and connecting them to the world, from helping generations grow and protecting their wealth to empowering innovation and helping communities thrive. Today we stand on 130 years of heritage to power your ambitions and unlock opportunities. 130 years of expertise to drive cross-border connections that move businesses forward, support your financial and wealth aspirations, and sustainably impact businesses. As always, we believe we can achieve more by partnering together. Standard Chartered, here for good.
You know, sometimes big moments start with small things, a call to a loved one, a Momo transaction to support family, a bundle to grow your business. But what if they could lead to something bigger than you ever imagined? Or with MTN at 30 promo, every call, every text, every browse, and every Momo transaction, every connection to home fiber, and every activity on my MTN app earns you points towards amazing rewards, including 9 brand new Toyota Land Cruiser Prados, over 10 million Ghana cedis in cash prizes, and unforgettable experiences just for you. Because every move counts. Dial *530# or use my MTN app to participate now, and let's stay connected everywhere you go. MTN at 30 promo, make every move count. Terms and conditions apply. Achuate,
Winston,
how are you?
Charlie, this morning, special shouts to two people at Fan Milk.
Okay.
The branch manager, Gloria Ofori.
Okay.
Oh, fantastic lady.
Good morning to you, Gloria Ofori.
Intelligence, competence, and the capacity to woo people into brand.
I hope people are watching how you are.
Yeah.
I mean, how you're saying the things.
She's a wonderful woman.
Okay.
Yes, Gloria Ofori. And then Kenneth Idam. In fact, to everybody at Fan Milk.
Okay.
We're expecting you at the Joy Sports invitation.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic.
August 29.
Sharp.
Next week, Saturday, at the University of Ghana.
Nice,
so
nice.
they should come and sign up for the invitational. We want to see them compete and bring the sweetness of the Fan Milk to the 2026.
They should bring the products too.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh, but when I said the sweetness, what did you expect?
They should bring the products. Sweetness. No, because when you introduce the people, no,
yes,
the sweetness has different meanings.
Oh, Winston. I said branch manager.
I'm okay.
Yes,
I'm okay. But
but you see the sweetness in the quality of their work.
That's all.
Yes,
that's all. You are in the spirit.
Yes. So Gloria Ofori and Kenneth Idam. And Muftawo sent me the name. I used to have a schoolmate called Aidan. So I don't know if it's Kenneth Aidan or Kenneth Idam. But whatever the same name is, big man.
Himself.
Yes. Good morning to you, and let's hear from you.
Sure.
This morning, let's hear from you and your colleagues at Fan Milk Ghana Limited.
Okay.
This also is a reminder to you. If your HR has not signed up for the Joy Sports Invitational, if your general manager has not signed up, call Slevin, and Slevin will do the rest. In fact, Slevin is our big man here, who deals with everything Joy Sports Invitational. And so, what some of the magic Slevin has done is to engage with the people of the luckiest. You know, the 2026 Joy Sports Invitational is headlined by the luckiest. The luckiest are the headline sponsors of this year's event. And yesterday, my colleague Muftar Nabila Abdullah spent some time with one of our partners who have also signed up for the Invitational at Dance Travels.
with Adansi Travels, our CEO and other of the management team, they are in meeting with the likes of Messi, Ronaldo, just for the strategy for the World Cup. So get ready for us. Be ready. Yeah, and you see, I'm holding this. Last year, we won the second best when it comes to table tennis. And we are already in the spirit. Can't you see us? Yes. So it means watch out. Adansi
Talk to me about what makes Adansi Travel the best institution to travel with.
We make traveling so accessible. You see, just a phone call. So the only thing you have to do is to book with us. We will take you right from the airport to your destination and bring you back. In fact, Adansi is the only travel agency who will hold your hand like a minor, travel with you, show you destinations that people who are even in that destination will not know. It's only Adansi Travels who can do that.
Well, Mufta Nabila Abdullah also spent some time with Ayuda Hub, who say they are set to unleash Galacticos never seen before at the Joy Sport Invitational.
Charlie, this morning, as you can see, last year we went to Benabao, right? And this year also, we are just coming from Benabao for a little bit of shake-up. We've sent some players, on transfer and, put them on the transfer market. And we are on the transfer market also, we want to bring in more players, to supplement what we have last year. Do you understand me? So, everything is under control. Everything is under control. We have a new coach in charge, the special one. So, everything is under control. We are coming for the ultimate. We are coming for the ultimate this year. Okay, so AIDA app is a service platform that connects service providers to people that need the services. Now, we have chefs, we have lawyers, we have doctors, we have nurses on the AIDA app, we have architects on the AIDA app. You can name it. Any service at all, any legal service. The underlying way is what? Legal. Any legal service that you need. We have them. We have the service providers right on AIDA app.
Now, the Multimedia Group's Chief Operating Officer is Kenansa. He's outlined the intense preparatory program is following to ensure he delivers victory in the CEO's penalty shootout.
Given that we are not too sure how the weather will be on the 29th, we have to work under various and varied simulated environments.
True. You are very
shooting in rain, shooting in snow, shooting in sunshine, shooting on mountains, shooting in valleys,
tornadoes.
What we are avoiding is shooting from Galamsey sites.
Right. Okay.
So we are putting in a lot, and so it is improper that some people may think that they can judge the future in its totality by the past. So it was a 60% success rate.
60% success rate.
3 conversions out of 5.
Under very harsh weather conditions.
Yes, and I beat Percy Crow. I beat him hands down. There were CEOs that I fought.
Okay.
I was almost making it to the final.
Almost.
Except that, when you are hosting a program such as this, you are careful not to go out there and win to create some impressions. And so I had to leave the space for some other CEOs to win.
Yeah, that's the Multimedia Group's Chief Operating Officer, Ken Ansah, there speaking on Drive Time yesterday. This year, he has to win the penalty shootout, and we do hope that he delivers that. Well, you can also sign up for the invitational course 11 on 0242 376 445, 0242 376 445, or leave him a message on WhatsApp or a regular text message, and he will support you in or take you through the registration process. Alternatively, you could simply walk to the front desk of Joy FM and pick up your registration forms. Away from the Joy Sports Invitational Tournament, Kumasi Asante Kotoko head coach is Eric Tinkler. He's looking forward to the club's Democracy Cup clash against Hatzabuk, which he considers an important final test before the new season begins.
We have another game on Saturday, very important, and then obviously the Hearts of Oak, and that will be our last preparation game. I know it's a cup competition, but I still see it as a preparation game because the league is the most important aspect for us as a technical team and as a club. The game against Heart of Oaks, that's going to be a massive tester, I think, because they are a very, very good team. So it's still work in progress, in my opinion. We're still looking to try and strengthen the squad in one or two areas.
Kotoko coach Eric Tinkler speaking there. Meanwhile, the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, has said the Democracy Cup is now more than just a ceremonial match with talented players set to end trials at Premier League club Sunderland.
We'll be sending young talents there to their academy, and also those that we believe are mature enough to join the team. Luckily, we have one of our sons there who spoke to me recently by name Brian Broby. He's a Ghanaian, even though he's not playing for the Black Stars. His brother is playing for the Black Stars, but he's having a different name, And so we are not just domestic, we've gone international.
Alban Bagbin is the Speaker of Parliament. Meanwhile, in Spain, Atletico Madrid opened their La Liga campaign with a 2-0 home win over newly promoted Malaga last night. Debutants Lee Kang-in came off the bench to score with a superb curling effort before Alex Baena sealed the victory with a brilliant free kick. Despite the win, Atletico struggled in attack as uncertainty continues over the future of forward Julian Alvarez, who did not play and was not part of the squad. The club that wants to sign Alvarez is FC Barcelona. They rounded off pre-season with a 2-1 victory over Ali in the Joan Campa Trophy at the Camp Nou. Egyptian striker Hamza Abdel Karim opened the scoring for Barca in the first half to take his goal tally in pre-season to 4, this time netting against his former club. In tennis, Nick Kyrgios has been provisionally suspended from tennis after testing positive for cocaine. He's an Australian and he provided a sample at the Mallorca Open on the 22nd of June, which was later found to contain benzoylcognin, metabolite of cocaine, and the former world number 13 has been provisionally suspended since August 4. And he released a statement yesterday accepting responsibility and says as part of his recovery he will be going off social media contacts for the foreseeable future. So but let's all surprise there, the Kyrgios being caught for cocaine. We do hope that he's able to make a quick recovery. Remember his comments not long ago when one of his, I think it was a female tennis player, I've forgotten the name, who also returned a positive test results for one of those banned substances.
Okay, what did he say? I've forgotten what he said.
He said people should learn to accept responsibility and not make excuses, and that you don't accidentally take in cocaine.
Oh, okay. So he didn't do it accidentally. That's why he says he'll go through a recovery. Okay.
At this point, he's explaining.
He's explaining. Yes. He will explain tire. But what's happened to Carlos Baleba?
We're told that Manchester United are close to signing him.
Hey, Man United are close to signing.
Let's see.
Every time, yeah. But is he a player you would sign?
I preferred someone else.
Scott?
No, Manu Kone.
Okay, you think he would have done a better job?
Yes, I think he is more suited to what Manchester United require. I think the team needs a proper number 6. Baleba will still be useful. I think he will be a good sign-in.
Is he not a number 6 too?
No, he's not.
He's an 8?
Yes.
Okay.
But he's still a very good player and I think what gives me confidence or makes me comfortable about this is the man who's going to train in Michael Carrick. I have a lot of faith that he can get a tune out of Carlos Baleba.
Okay, let's get into food for thought for this morning, brought to us by Roverman Productions. B, the difference. Uncle, good morning.
Oh, my favorite about you say good morning and good to hear from you. How are you doing?
Oh, Uncle, God is still taking very good care of his children. I hope you have electricity.
I do.
Oh, you do? Oh, lucky you. Well, some of us, left home without electricity, and the whole neighborhood was dark.
Well, that explains what you are wearing.
Yes. This
one does not require any ironing.
At all.
But it looks good on you.
Yeah, I mean, Batakari is always good.
Well, we're getting very close to the premiere of my play, The Annie Trap, opening on the 4th and running through 4th, 5th, 6th, 11th, 12th, and 13th of September. We hope we'll get a chance to delight you at the National Theatre. Winston, one of the most enduring memories from my boyhood was the first funeral that happened right in my house at South Central. The deceased was one of the 4 sisters of my mother, who was based in Bekwai with her husband and 2 sons. When she took ill, her husband just came and dumped her on my mother and left. Unfortunately, he brought her too late. And although my mother rushed her immediately to Konfanoche Hospital, and the doctors did the best they could for her, she still did not make it. She passed and was laid in state in the hall of our house, and the funeral was also done in the house. It was my first experience with bereavement that close, and I was only 9 or 10. The image of my auntie dressed in white like a bride on the bed looking like she was sleeping, and even the fragrance around the bed still have not left me. My mother and her remaining 3 sisters were completely devastated, and their grief was heavy. I could feel it even then as a boy. The deceased was, for all of them, their favorite sister. The funeral, which happened in 2 parts, part 1 was in Kumasi and part 2 in Elmina, came and went. Black cloth gave way to normal everyday colors, but the sense of loss still lingered, because the deceased husband, that the widower, came to the funeral with their 2 sons and left them on my mother. The presence of the boys was a constant reminder of the loss. Yes, he just dumped the boys like he had dumped their mother earlier and just left, no explanation. Then one evening, it was time for supper in the house. Now, at the house I was raised in, everyone had his own bowl, except for my mother and her sisters. And background information, all my mother's sisters lived with her until they married. So if you were not married, you were living with her. The 4 women always ate together from the same bowl, and they would talk throughout the meal, and you can imagine the amount of gossip that flowed before the bowl was emptied. I loved to position myself and my bowl as close to them as I could, because their gossip was always fun. On this day, this was about a month or so after the 2nd funeral in Elmina, one of my aunties began to tease my mother, imitating how she was mourning and crying at the funeral and expressing her grief. They all burst into laughter. Then my mother also got her back by imitating her too, and that brought even more laughter. And then each of them became a target, and each of them was picked on and roasted, and the laughter kept coming. At one point, I saw all 4 women wipe tears from their eyes, but they were not tears of pain and grief, but tears from laughing so hard. For a moment, I struggled to make sense of what was going on. I mean, I had seen these women at their lowest, and I had not thought they could ever laugh again, but here they were, helping each other to heal with laughter. I was only 9 or 10 at the time. I did not understand what was going on then, but I do now. They had not gotten over their grief, but they were not allowing it to take over their lives. They were opening up for healing, and laughter was the only tool that could do it effectively. I've since seen people struggling with embarrassment, pain, misfortune, and loss of all kinds. And I've seen people feeling hopeless in the moment. And then I've seen these same people months later, sometimes even days later, laughing at what once caused them embarrassment, pain, and anguish. And the laughter is not forced. The laughter flows from their seeing the lighter side of the darkness they are struggling to put behind them. I've also experienced grief and pain and embarrassment at close quarters myself. It does not come closer than losing your father and your mother. It does not come closer than losing your losing my brother Jude, my son KY, and my adopted sister Barbara. It does not come closer than being fired from my job. And I had thought to myself at various times when I was going through those things that I would not be able to laugh again. And then a few months later, or in the case of the loss of my father, years later, I find myself in the company of loved ones, and we begin to roast each other over how we were mourning and manifesting our pain. We also begin to see the lighter side of some of the things that happened at the moments of our pain, and we will laugh. And in allowing ourselves to laugh, we begin the process of healing. The point I'm making this morning is that no matter what you are going through, and no matter how much pain or grief it is causing you today, one day you will find reason to laugh over the same incident, because you will begin to see the lighter side of the situation or the incident. You will laugh no matter what you are going through today. You will laugh just as you have laughed looking back at some of the things you have already endured. Listen to any good stand-up comedian, and you will discover that their best jokes are the ones that come from their personal pain and struggles. Pain is often the seed from which laughter springs. Now, if you will laugh someday over what is causing you pain today, can you imagine what the quality of your life would be like if you can learn to see the lighter side of what is causing you pain today, so the pain does not get a chance to destroy you? You will laugh someday, I promise you, no matter what you are going through. And because of that, please give yourself permission to laugh today, because the laughter is there. And I would just say, that's my presentation for this morning.
I like that. Indeed, you're right. Sometimes you think you can never laugh again, but time comes, you look at those same events, and then you laugh over them.
You look back and yes, and you can see it there. And my mindset now is, whatever is causing me pain today, someday I'll look back on this and laugh. So the laughter is there. I'll rather look at that and for it to give me the strength to cope better with what I'm going through.
Okay. Thank you very, very much, Uncle White, for joining us with Food for Thought.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you very much, and have a great weekend too. So that's Food for Thought, brought to us by Roverman Productions. Be the difference, which means we can bring you the Business Minute, Joy Business Minute, brought to us by Consolidated Bank Ghana, CBG. We stand with you. Anointed Engineering Services, the generator experts, Palladium Residences, Live Smart, Invest Better, SkySat Technologies, performance that delivers every time, and Pegasus Publishing, shaping minds, winning futures.
Hello, welcome to Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana, CBG. We stand with you. Anointed Engineering Services, the generator experts, Palladium Residences, Live Smart, Invest Better, SkySat Technologies, performance that delivers every time, and Pegasus Publishing, shaping minds, winning futures. The Ghana Grid Company Limited has attributed the widespread power outage recorded across parts of the country to a major fault on the Akosombo Volta transmission line. Gridco says all relevant technical teams have been mobilized and are working to achieve full restoration as quickly and safely as possible. Government is considering measures to strengthen the Heritage Fund as efforts intensify to increase petroleum production and rebuild Ghana's resource wealth. Meanwhile, Energy Minister John Abdullah Jinapor says Ghana is advancing plans to introduce nuclear power into its energy mix, citing declining hydro potential and the rising cost of thermal generation. And last, the Joy Business Minute.
Welcome back from the Business Minute here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM with me, Winston Amoah. And Anointed Engineering Services Limited, they are into the sale of ultra-silent, fuel-efficient diesel generating sets with size ranging from 5 kVA to 3,000 kVA at competitive prices. And for every generator you acquire, you'll enjoy a 5-year warranty. They also undertake maintenance and repairs of all kinds of diesel generating sets. Their services include a 24-hour emergency service, sale of genuine spare parts, reliable rental service, professional advice, and sale of tower lights and rental. Locate their East Legon branch at 26 Boundary Road, Legon, close to AH Hotel, and head office at number 77 and rented house on the main Odoko Malam Highway. Near the Odoko traffic light, they also have 21 branches nationwide. They're into skill training. They have a training school that trains students in generators and plants, auto mechanics, electricals and controls, and solar installations. They offer 80% hands-on training and 20% theory. So call them on 0243 480 334 or 0246 423534. Anointed, the generator experts. And let's get into this morning on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. Social media messages brought to us by EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. Number 10, live us out a refreshing relief. Cowbell Coffee with you every moment.
If your money is controlling you, now is the time to change that. The EcoBank mobile app gives you the power to command your money to transact across 33 African countries and anywhere in the world. Command your money to make water, electricity and school fees payments, bank and mobile money transfers, create virtual cards to buy only what you need and more. So Money Commander, download the EcoBank mobile app today on the App Store or Play Store and command your money. Command also means paying attention to details. EcoBank will never call or send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card or Ghana card details. When in doubt, call the EcoBank call center on 0800 003225. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
And look, let's get into big stories. But of course, tell us if you have lights now. We want to know what the situation is, where you find yourself. And on big stories this morning, we're going to be talking about home security. So Virtual Security Africa will be joining us with some tips on home security. Big stories brought to us by Telecel Connecting Energies, Lancaster University, Ghana, the only British University campus in West Africa, and Awake Natural Mineral Water, one for life.
Awake says every day your body needs clean water, refreshing water. Awake water is carefully produced to keep you refreshed and hydrated, purified, refreshing, and purpose-driven. Through our One for Life campaign, we support people living with various cardiovascular diseases, where every bottle you drink, an amount is donated to the National Cardiothoracic Center, Kolebu. Drink Water, Drink Awake is proudly produced by Casapreco PLC. Awake Purified Drinking Water, one for life. Drink Water, Drink Awake, and it's available nationwide.
So it's time to take a step up, transform your business ideas into success stories with Telecel Business. At Telecel Business, we make it easy to connect, communicate, digitize, and converge with reliable solutions tailored to businesses of all sizes. Stay connected with our dedicated internet, business, broadband, IoT, and tower colocation services. Communicate seamlessly with affordable mobile, fixed, and roaming plans. Digitize your operations and reach more customers with our innovative digital services. Converge everything effortlessly with one business, all-in-one solution for simplicity and convenience. Visit the nearest Telecel retail store or go to telecel.com.gh/business to get started. Telecel, connecting opportunities, connecting goals, connecting businesses. Still live here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. Stay with us. What a return also, our friends from MTN. They are our sponsors of our Sustainability Month, and they're joining us to have a conversation about sustainability, what it means to the company, and most importantly, what it means to you. Stay with us. We'll be right back after these.
And if you do so, it will be an offense. We know that's been on the law books for like forever, but nobody adheres to it because really we have a huge housing deficit. If you don't pay to the landlord, you will sleep rough. And so there's this understanding between those who are looking for rent and those who own the apartments. And then you pay your 1 year, 2 years rent advance. Although it's legal, both sides are complicit in this, right? And so they pointed to that, but they also point to the fact they have the authority that if you do so, a fine can be imposed against you. And then the rent officer also has the power to investigate and assess, which is what they started doing, sending their men and women out to go and investigate and assess some of the hostels to see if they are fit for purpose and whether they can charge what they were charging. And then also to examine the land and tenancy law compliance. So basically, are the private hostels complying with these regulations? So what really was the rationale behind the Sewa Heights and Adisha hostel that were closed down, have been closed down now as part of this crackdown. They told us when they did the inspection. So as part of this nationwide crackdown, this particular hostel, we could say from the press reports, had been closed down because the facility, as we're told, was not fit for purpose, and that they had poor sanitation, air quality issues were also raised. And then the KNUST student decided that we can't take this anymore. We've heard about the nukes petition, but we need to protest. So they hit the streets to protest, raising all the issues that I've just put out already, and saying basically that the private hostels were exploiting them. So I decided to do some checks. When we begin now to look at one of the complaints, the students were clear that now you have to pay far more for accommodation than for fees. You are going to school primarily to get educated. And then here you are, you have this irony where it's costing you far more to pay for accommodation than to actually get educated. And the students found that quite absurd. And so I wanted to check the numbers, and it's true, because you look at academic fees at KNUST, for example, where the students went on a protest, the lowest amount you can pay, a student can pay, there's a lower band, is 2,710. At least that's what we found from KNUST. And then you then look at private hostels. One particular case, and they advertise their rates online, is the Brunei hostel. And they were advertising for a year, you pay 6,194 cedis. That gap there is very huge. And then so parents were asking the same question, students were asking the same question, why am I paying more to simply get you to stay in a place and far less to actually educate, because I'm spending money here, more here and not there. So something is very, very wrong. And then we needed to expand this conversation a bit more. We wanted to look at the trend when it comes to the increases. Are the students right? Do they have any basis, any justification for these concerns? And is the rent control right to crack down? So we looked at pricing, hostel pricing for Ghana Hostel Limited, and they provide one of the biggest players in that space. And they advertise their pricing every academic year because sometimes they review it. So we just looked at the pricing that they've advertised, the Ghana Hostels Limited, in the last 4 years for academic calendars. And the picture here is fascinating. It's just jaw-dropping. Just in 2022-2023 academic year, you're paying 1,800 cedis at the lower end for a hostel for a year. 4 years later, in fact, 3 years later, 3 academic years later, it's now jumped to 7,492 cedis. That is more than 300% increase. And if you draw the line, it's a steep curve. It's almost like a cliff. It's just incomparable what it used to be, 1,800, to what it is now, 7,492 for a year. That clearly is a problem. Something is horribly wrong, because even from the 2022-2023 academic year to 2023-2024 academic year alone, it went from 1,800 to almost 5,000. I guess the core now is somebody must regulate the space. But should you? Because this is a capitalist society. The demand and supply must determine the price of this particular good. But some say, well, you can't do that. You need to, because we're talking about students. Education is a public good as well. And so if they're providing service to that community, then somebody must regulate this. But there's a very strong case too, because if you look at some of the hostels, they provide far more than you can find in, say, the state-sponsored accommodation campus. You have, TV rooms with DSTV, etc. And the more of this you have, the higher the cost. So this is probably going to be even more. I'm going to pay 15,000 in the region for more, if you like, luxury items in there. But this is, for me, the big picture, right? Because the problem we are talking about feeds into what we all know is a problem we haven't fixed as a country. this problem with the housing deficit of 1.8 million. And I believe this is grossly understated, by the way. And so the students who are in school, that housing deficit that they're experiencing with the hostels, this is a subset of this bigger problem. And then you have 711,695, according to G-Tech, the number of tertiary students, current student population that we have just for the 2022-2023 academic year. By the way, just go back. So if you look now, this number is way possibly in the region of 1 million already, right? And then you're talking about 1.8 million units that are in deficit population-wide. What will happen is the demand will far outstrip supply when it comes to hostels. And when that happens in any economy, prices will just skyrocket. So it is just the factors of demand and supply dictating the sort of prices that the private hostels are charging. But the question then is, are they exploiting this situation and putting untold hardship, imposing it, inflicting it on parents and students? Let's talk about that. And so what is the solution? The solution is just to make sure that we have increased accommodation for students, because the more accommodation there is, the less they can charge. Because if the demand, the supply tend to outstrip or even matches the demand, you cannot be charging these astronomical prices. So fundamentally, we must deal with it at the base of it. Other than just closing down universities, you have to factor in the cost that they run in the private hostels. So there's a very complex matter here, not just a simple case of the exploiting and the prices are up. You have to deal with a bigger issue, dealing with the high housing deficit, deal with the deficit when it comes to housing and hostels for students. If you deal with that, prices will fall naturally. It's just a natural consequence of the economic forces. So you also have here the private hostels. They are objecting to this crackdown. They have a private facility they are running, they're spending money. Why do you want to dictate to them how to set price? This is not a communist society. They are making the point, basically. So they are fighting back. And so there's a huge fight that has erupted in this. But over time, government has been trying and saying a lot of things about fixing the problem, and nothing really has happened, right? Interventions. The government signed, for example, 10,000 bed hostel facility at the University of Ghana. I don't know where this is reached now. Maybe over time we made some progress, but it's not enough. The Ministry of Education has formed a committee to cap hostel prices. Is that the solution? To keep private men from doing business and charging going rates? My guest will join me. Let's have that big conversation. Bishop, why are your hostels exploiting the students and also giving them poor service while exploiting them?
Thank you. That is my concern for now, especially as the rent commissioner said he went to some hotels and the students were packed like sardines. It's so, I don't know. If students are packed like sardines and their parents come to see that and they approve of their being there, I mean, what is it? Come to KNUST here. We have hotels in category. The university has made sure of that. And so rents are fixed with the university. So if he says we are exploiting them, then it means the university is conniving with private people to exploit students. I beg to differ. I'm so sad at what the rent commissioner is saying. Go to the hotel and the facilities are not up to date and the facilities are appalling and all those things. Please, let us be honest with ourselves. The estate developer, he made certain points. You see, and Ghana is a free economy. Now, you are in this hotel, you think the facilities are not good. As you rightly made the point, why don't you leave and go to where the facilities are better and the rates are okay with you, your pocket can meet it. The point is, every hotel in this KNUST enclave, I cannot talk for other enclaves, but I can talk for the KNUST enclave. Every hotel is registered with GTA, Ghana Tourism Authority.
But there's a point that you made that I want to run by the Nukes president, Rashid. The point about, you talked about pricing, you talked about service. And Mr. Megaba makes the point, if the service quality is good, you don't mind paying more.
Okay, I think the rent commissioner made a certain assessment. He made a statement that it is assessment that will bring up all this. If you look at Section 14 of the Act, it talks about matters to take into consideration when making the assessments. So when my father here spoke about the categorization of the hostels, I do not agree with that entirely, because during the assessment, it will be able to come out, or it will come out that you have an interest rate of maybe 30% that you must recoup your investment. All this will come in the assessment. So the categorization is not actually necessary. But what we are saying is that there must be an independent person to do an assessment with the pricing. Because if you leave the pricing in the hands of only the developer is likely to abuse that. So the law actually
because
stipulates
your primary objective is
to make profit.
Yeah.
So there must be a third party who has no interest in it, a non-interested party who will come in to make the assessment.
So what you want is, it's okay to make reasonable profit, not exploit.
Yes. Not that excessive.
You think that you have been exploited now? Students have been exploited?
We think so, because I have a hostel here from Central University. It is called...
On Joy 99.7 FM. I like that one, Electric Energy. Oh, Betty, let's bring it back. But I told you before the break that our friends from MTN were going to be joining us because they've launched the MTN Ghana Sustainability Month 2026. This morning, we've been joined by the General Manager, HR Operations and Analytics, Abdallah Ibrahim, and the Acting General Manager for Sustainability and Shared Value, Georgina Asari Fiagbenu. Good morning, Georgina. Good morning, Abdallah. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning.
I believe you're all doing well.
We are.
Yes, good morning to you.
We thank God for your life. But before we get into the conversation, let me just say this. Buying inferior and cheap mattresses may seem like a good way to save money, but do not fall for the trap. If you haven't slept well, you cannot work well and think well. And ultimately, you're putting your health at risk, which can cause you a lifetime of discomfort and chronic pain. As responsible citizens, we should invest in safe, durable, and certified mattresses. And that's why we must all raise awareness to protect families across the country. Latest Foam remains the tried and tested brand we all love for almost 60 years now. They offer you unmatched quality and durability for every Ghanaian home. Make the smart choice. Talk to them on 0302-231155 in Accra and then on 03220-29365 in Kumasi for all your inquiries, or walk into any of their outlets nationwide for your preferred choice. You can also visit them at latexfoamghana.com and all their social media platforms. Do not settle for less, go for quality. Buy Latex Foam or else you do yourself. Latex Foam, your partner for life. But we don't talk enough about how stressful it can be to figure out what nourishing breakfast to give kids every morning. Georgina, I know you have passed that stage, but that's why Milo All-in-One is such a great option. It has a creamy, delicious taste kids can't have enough of, but there's more to the Milo All-in-One pack than the rich, milky, chocolatey taste. There's so much goodness in every pack. Just take a moment to read the back of pack and see for yourself. It's important nutrients combined with malt that supports energy release, cocoa for that rich taste, and milk for calcium to support them as they grow. So keep choosing Milo All-in-One, not just for that special taste, but also for the nourishing goodness. Milo, energy to go further. But the month of August is the Sustainability Month on the Super Morning Show. Our focus will be on, things that impact all of us. It's whether the systems we depend on actually last. So today we're talking about lights being off, okay? But we need lights that should stay on. Water that reaches the bucket, food that nourishes people instead of rotting away, and roads that take us home instead of taking our lives. When things keep failing, that's a sustainability crisis. So the Sustainability Month is sponsored by MTN and Momo. And this morning, MTN is here with us. So good morning once again. And we know that MTN has launched a Sustainability Month. Can you give us the background to this? Why have you launched this event?
Thank you. And good morning once again. Yes, we launched this Sustainability Month, and just to give an overview of what we've done in previous years, we used to celebrate Sustainability Week, and we launched it 2 years ago. To deepen awareness about sustainability amongst our employees. So it's actually an internal thing, and it's because all over the world businesses are being encouraged, and I'm going to put it in very simple way so that everybody can relate to it, to be more responsible and to ensure that we are not just being compliant but living sustainability, ensuring that we are meeting the needs of businesses without compromising the future needs of future generations. And as part of that, of course, we need our staff to also come along and to ensure that we are all living and responsibly, ensuring that we are managing our resources well, we are living ethically and all that. So it's to deepen the sustainability conversation and knowledge, and to ensure that we all live it as part of our daily lives. And to do that as a business, we don't just have to think about being compliant. We have to think about how we bring our staff along. So we started the Sustainability Week, and this year we decided to expand it to a Sustainability Month, so we can have more time to engage, have more time to share information, and also bring in external conversations. And that's the reason why this month we've decided to expand it into a Sustainability Month, and also even to partner with you so we can bring in more people into the sustainability conversation.
Okay, that's a good thing. But what are MTN's key focuses within the sustainability space? Are you interested in reporting on everything, or there are specific areas MTN is working on?
So,
okay. So thank you very much, and good morning to you all. There are 4 pillars for us when it comes to sustainability, and the one that HR we take off. So doing it for people is the one that we actually look after. But you have doing it for planet, doing it for growth as well, and then one other pillar that Gina will talk about.
Doing it right.
Yeah, doing it right, exactly. So that, thank you very much for that. So in my space, which is human resources, we're looking at some of the practices that we do that bring about equity, inclusion, diversity, about leadership development, about employee development in itself, creating share value with the rest of the business as well as our communities. So really, these are the main 4 pillars, but under each of them, like I already mentioned, on the people side, you would have specific interventions that we would put in place that advances the conversation, and we have specific targets that we hold ourselves to. So, for example, we want to achieve gender parity by 2030 at 50-50. Today, we're sitting at about 43%. And since we started measuring this, we've added about 5 percentage points to that number, which means that we're making steady progress. Again, when we look at women in leadership, we've added about 4% to that as well. Sitting at about 31% now, starting from about 26% a couple of years ago. So we see that a lot of these interventions are yielding the right results. And as you go into the office, you see we have a number of initiatives that go to support specific pillars under each of the sustainability umbrella.
Okay. Anything you want to add, Gina?
Yes, just to highlight a few more things. He said a lot about the people initiatives, and like he rightly said, we are also looking at doing for planet. What do we do to protect the environment, to ensure that we are all being conscious about protecting the environment, and also making judicious uses of our resources. So for example, we have water and waste initiatives. We segregate our waste, we ensure that our water resources are managed properly in the office, and we also ensure that our staff also carry it along to their various homes. So for example, to protect the environment, one of the issues we've been battling in Ghana is the use of single-use plastics, and I'm sure we all talk about it. So one of the things the leadership did was to ban single-use plastics in the company. So people come to the office, for example, every day with their own flasks. They fetch water, so you don't have all this bottled water. We also encourage the use of paper bags rather than polythene bags, for example. We are doing a lot in conserving energy, so we are on about 50% solar usage in MTN House, and we are also driving the initiatives in some of our branches. And so there's a lot that we are doing in that space to ensure that we conserve energy, we manage electricity. Today we are all struggling with electricity, so we've switched all our lighting system to energy efficient bulbs. We also have the efficiencies that allows you, when you leave the room, the lights goes on automatically, it goes off automatically. So there's a lot of things that we are doing to ensure that we manage our environment and protect it better. Of course, doing it right is about being ethical. So ethical, living is something that we always talk about. We have a senior manager for ethics in MTN driving ethical behaviors and ensuring that all of us are being responsible as we should be as leaders of this country.
Okay, but before we get even into the activities, I'm interested in something. Why is there a big focus on sustainability suddenly? Why are companies like MTN so excited about it?
Yeah, everybody is excited about sustainability. I guess it's, people argue that it's not a new thing, and it's true. I remember that when I was younger, we used to be more protective of the environment. If I can say that boldly, because I remember that, where we used to live, we didn't even have trucks coming to collect our bins. We will walk for miles and go and deposit our bins where they've been allocated, and you dare not put it on the floor. You always have to climb and put it in. I don't know whether Abdallah remembers that as well. And we used to do it religiously. Every morning you would do that. We used to, we in our community, my mom, for example, will allow us, she will make us sweep the entire community up to our junction. Everybody knew what to do. You couldn't behave irresponsibly. And then I also remember that years ago, we actually did a whole campaign on saving electricity, if you remember. Put off your lights to save electricity. I think that was the time that we had a crisis with
around
water.
98, when we were doing 24 hours on, 24 hours off.
It's not a new. Then there was a ban on chainsaw. Illegal chainsaw operation, cutting of trees indiscriminately. All these things were regulated. So, in my mind, sustainability has always been with us, because that's the right way to live, to ensure that we are efficient, we are responsible, we have the right values, we are ethical. If it's taxes, you pay your taxes as a company, as an individual. So all these things have been there. What businesses are being asked to do is now to have a framework, a universal framework for let's say, judging how we are all doing. So the space is being regulated, but our stance at MTN is that we don't have to comply because we are being regulated. We have to do it as a way of life. And I remember that at the launch of the Sustainability Month, our CEO rightly said, sustainability should be a way of life. That is how we should live. Businesses have to be ethical. We all have to operate with integrity. We all have to ensure that we manage our resources, equitably, so that in trying to generate more profit or revenue, we don't compromise the resources that we have. So here we are all battling for electricity, but if we use it judiciously, it should reach everybody. So sustainability is a way of life. Businesses are more excited because now that we are working towards mandatory reporting in 2027, it's just telling us that we need to be more responsible and we need to bring more people on board, because you can't just have one business or 50 businesses complying, watching the environment, doing things right. Every individual in Ghana has to come on board. And I think this is the reason why we are excited to ensure that all of us are coming on board to do the right thing, to protect the environment, to grow our businesses, but also to ensure that we balance it by managing the environment, our society, and honoring our commitments.
Interesting. So what are some of the activities lined up for the month, planned for the month, the sustainability month?
I'll take this. So for the month, we started, so what we've done is that we have one internal activity every week, and we also have one external, and this is just to balance the inside out. And so we started with a launch, and after that we started internal competitions to test our staff's knowledge about sustainability and all the things we have to adopt. Then in week 2 we had what we call lunch and learn. So MTN, we have a program that HR has put together. So you have lunch and you learn together. So we had a conversation that we called ESG in your zone. So within every zone, within every department, within every division, how are you living and adopting sustainability to ensure that it goes down to everybody in the business? And we had that conversation, having our energy group coming to talk to us about what they are doing to conserve energy. HR, Abdallah was there to talk about the people things. We had our ethics senior manager there to talk about that. And of course, the commercial also talking about what we are doing to generate revenue, and most importantly, to ensure that we increase access to broadband, because telecommunication services is becoming like a human rights issue, and everybody needs access. So the commercial team came to talk about how they are promoting our partnership with original equipment providers so they can provide affordable and safe internet for everybody. So this is the conversation we had. Then we also visited the Accra Composite and Recycling Plant.
Okay.
And we had staff who volunteered to go and see the place, just for us to be conscious of how challenging it is to manage refuse and waste. And there we got to know, for example, that Accra generates about 4,000 tons of refuse every day, and we are able to recycle only about 2,000. So about 50% of the waste, where does it go? And these things are in the faces of staff. So when we went there, it became more critical that we all have to join the fight against indiscriminate littering and irresponsible behavior. Because when you travel, that, for example, when you go into a shop, you go with your basket or your recycled bag, your tote bag, and you are charged if you request for a rubber bag. I mean, most of the countries, when you travel, because they want to reduce waste. So we generate the waste, but where does it go? How do we manage them? So it was one of the activities we undertook. This week, today, right from here, we have an engagement with SMEs. And why are we bringing SMEs along? It's the same argument. We can't do it on our own. I mean, you can't just have one business talking about us living responsibly. You need to bring people on board. So we have our MTN business and team who have brought together about 120 SMEs. And we have ACCA who have offered to give them training in sustainability adoption. So as a small business, how can you adopt sustainable practices your business running, and also to ensure that you also balance the equation whilst driving your business? You also ensure that you are investing in the community and doing things responsibly. We have a tree planting exercise coming up. Together with HR, we are championing a garden club, because what you eat is very important.
Very, very important.
Very important. You have to be sustainable yourself to be able to protect the environment and do all that. So we are setting a garden club. We'll be launching a garden club and encourage our staff to grow vegetables. No matter how small your space is, you can grow something. So these are some of the things we are doing. So
you're actually doing a lot.
Yes, we are.
A lot. I mean, I like the garden club,
Yes, and I volunteered to be the lead for that.
Yes.
Because I've been putting on the fence for a long time, turning a small space in my house for a garden. And but I just wanted to add a couple of other things that we've done that is integrated within the way we do our business. So And the best way to do sustainability is not to do it as an event, but it should be embedded in the processes and the way you do your business. So today, when you come to our office, for example, we have an EV charging station that employees can bring their EVs. Not only that, we're partnering with EV providers as what people can do, because we have a lot of cars driving in and out. So what can we do to reduce our carbon footprint, for example? Just recently, we did a drive and dwell campaign where we focus a lot more on helping employees acquire EV vehicles that they can come and charge at the office for free. So these are some of the things that we're doing, even including our fleet. Some of our fleet vehicles are EVs, the motorbikes that our dispatch riders use. Some of them are EVs. We have plans to put a lot more in that space in the subsequent years. Gensets, for example, at our data centers have all been replaced by, or we've added a lot more EV capacity, solar generation capacity to that, in a way that it becomes part of our business and the way we do our business. So when I look at all of this, it tells me that MTN really is at the forefront of what sustainability it's all about. We don't stop there. We also look at our suppliers. What are our suppliers doing to also advance the conversation, similar to what Gina said about bringing everybody on board. So the people that we doing business with, how sustainable are they running their business? And increasingly it's becoming part of how businesses choose who to work with. Okay. Because if all of us come together, we can advance the conversation and we can really pool our resources together to ensure we do our business sustainably, we protect the environment for future generations, and we ensure that compliance it's at the table all the time.
Interesting. And I look at the theme, Together for a Sustainable Future, Small Actions, Big Impact. Why did you choose this theme? I'm just curious.
So yes, it's just highlighting, what we've all said this morning, and saying that the things we do matter. So every little, decision you make matters. So whether it's, making a decision that every day you are going to conserve the use of water, bringing your children along, bringing your staff along, bringing your community along. So it's small actions, but the impact is great. Because if one person is doing it, it will be very difficult for us to achieve it. So we all have to come together. And the most important thing is that consistency is very key. You can't just say, I'm going to be ethical today and unethical tomorrow. You have to be consistent in your behavior. So what we are saying is that, yes, you want to do a big leap. We actually have a project or a program currently going on about how we can transform our culture and our behavior. So it's all coming together. And we are saying, is it small steps, big leap? Yeah. And it goes in line with what we are doing for sustainability, small actions, big impact. So all of us are doing it one day at a time, little by little. But if we all do it together at the same time and we commit to doing things responsibly, the impact will be very big. Wow. And the world will become a better place. So just to say that in addition to all these things, governance is also very important. Yeah. Governance is very important, but let me allow you.
No, because I realized this year also marks MTN Ghana's 30th anniversary. Was it last week or two, you gave out 3 Land Cruiser Prados. My colleague, Kwaku Asante, is dying to receive one of those. It's my prayer.
Be praying with him.
It's my prayer that he wins.
We'll be praying with him.
But how will sustainability agenda influence the company's journey for the next 3 decades? For example, how will this shape, your human development plan or initiatives?
Well, thank you very much for that. So we already have a sustainability ambition to be carbon neutral by 2040. Okay. So just talking about what the future looks like. So it will influence the way we do our business, where we invest in, and how we really attain that ambition over the next, 14 years now. So yes,
yes.
So that's on one part. But on the people side, for example, the advent of AI is a real challenge that every organization is facing. Because like it or not, it's influencing how we do business, how people work and people interact. So for us, it's very important that we build our people up to be able to continue to be part of this organization into the future. And increasingly, you see that we have programs every quarter that brings people up to speed about what they can do with that. Not only that, we have a lot of focus on developing women leaders as well, because it's all part of our ambition, part of gender parity and equity as we talk today. Today we actually have a program in the office. I was just having a chat with Gina that we ask people to be in green, as you can see. And the other side of it, they're also wearing a different color. So I've seen people put together two similar and related colors.
Yellow goes green. Eh?
I know, right? And it's interesting because we're having a women leadership program today as well, all in a bid to advance sustainability. And for us, that's a big thing. So when we do all these similar and related activities, sustainability connects all of them. Because at the core of it, about skills development, about how we do our business, about women, in leadership, about how we advance on graduate programs, how we engage with the universities on the courses that they can do to ensure that graduates come out, with some skills that industry will require. So all these, when we put together, actually have sustainability tying all of them together. And I think for me, that really is how we're preparing ourselves for the future.
Okay. But one of the messages from the launch was that MTN Ghana succeeds when Ghana succeeds. What does this mean in practical terms for us, your customers, the entrepreneurs, and the local communities?
So what it means is that, we must all build Ghana together. And we do it by doing our part as a business and also encouraging and bringing all our partners together to ensure that we all do our part. For Ghana to succeed, of course, we have to protect our resources. We have to work, ethically. We have to pay our taxes. We have to drive broadband access. We have to promote inclusivity. We have to ensure that we promote carbon neutrality. All of these things we have to do them. And one of the things he spoke about that I was happy was, for example, responsible procurement, even to the extent that deciding what to purchase and how you purchase it is very important, where you get it from, where you source it from. And that is why implementing a good governance program is very important. So MTN is big on governance, and that is why we also are having this discussion and ensuring that, of course, if investors will come to Ghana, they will be looking out for all of these things, because people will invest where there's equitable use of resources, where people are compliant, where people are responsible, and it also means that we have to continue to invest in our community. So the social aspect is very important. In addition to what Abdallah has said, for example, the work that the MTN Ghana Foundation is doing to ensure that, for example, we provide access to ICT. We empower our young people with entrepreneurial skills. We empower them to have the digital skills to be able to meet the needs of our requirements today. So for today, if you want to even be a private business person, you should know how to use basic digital skills. So we have a Digital Skills Academy, and we are encouraging people to sign on to it. I know the government is also doing the 1 million coders program, which MTN is also supporting. So we all have to do our work. We have to do our bit as businesses. Government has to do theirs. The community also has to do theirs. And that is why the small actions, big impact is important, because we always can't say, oh, MTN needs to provide this. Yes, that's very good. Government needs to provide that. That's very good. As citizens, what are we also supposed to do? So we believe that Ghana succeeds. When Ghana succeeds, we also succeed. All of us have to do our bit. We will continue to invest in our communities. We'll continue to invest in the network, because we have to provide more access. And whilst doing that, we have to ensure shared value. There has to be a balance between profit and ensuring that our social commitments are also done.
Great. Abdullah, anything you want to say finally?
No, I just like to say that the sustainability discussion is a shared responsibility. No one company or individual can do it alone. And I particularly like the theme for the year, which is small actions, big impact. So they don't have to be the big things that all of us are thinking about. It's just about the little things that we all do as a way of life. So, for example, you have to be mindful how you run your taps. don't leave lights on. So these are things that are genuinely in our control. And if all of us do it, it has a ripple effect of bringing about being impact. So in our office, we say that everybody within your function, sustainability becomes part of how you make your decision. Every decision that you make within the function, how is sustainability influencing it? And that's how it becomes a way of life for us within the organization. We want to reach out to the larger Ghanaian community to also look beyond just making profit within their organization. Invest in the right things that would advance the sustainability conversation. In terms of even people development, how are we developing people? How are we being equitable in the way we expand opportunities? And really, when all of us are able to do these bits in all our areas, we expect that it will come together beautifully to create a more sustainable Ghana for all of us.
Thank you very much, Abdullah Ibrahim, who is General Manager, HR Operations and Analytics for MTN Ghana. Thank you also, Georgina Sarifiagbenu, Acting General Manager for Sustainability and Shared Value. Stay with us, still to come here on the Super Morning Show. Well, the Domestic Gold Purchase Program, $1.7 billion worth of losses. Now, who caused them? And how do we change from that trend? But also, as users of the Accra-Tema motorway, how does it feel driving every morning? Because the Minister for Roads and Highways has directed that a contractor should try and finish work by 2027. How are you guys coping? All of these after these messages.
It is called Jeffrey Homestay. Last year, they were charging 6,000 Ghana cedis.
For a year?
Yes. And this year, the owner has increased it to about 14,000 Ghana cedis for them to pay. So you would ask yourself, what actually went on? What actually went on in there?
We need to be careful if we are quoting this for the same unit.
This information were given to me by the students themselves.
So it could be 6,000 for a particular unit, and it's includes 14,000 for a different unit. I mean, not necessarily the one bedroom.
This is information. The information provided here are accurate information.
I'm just adding that caveat because these things happen to me all the time. The owners of the property will call and say that 14,000 is not for the chamber standard one, and that is for the
this is the information
the luxury hostel room.
The issue is that we cannot leave the pricing in the hands of the developers alone. Mm-hmm. That is why the law stipulates that the rent commissioner must come in to make that assessment, right? So we think that whether the quality is high or the quality is low, the assessment must be made by an independent person so that we can have a fair pricing where the students and also the private developer will also benefit. Yeah. We appreciate the work that the private sector is doing. Mm-hmm. That we appreciate that greatly because the government alone cannot do it, right? So they coming in to help salvage the situation. It's cool. We are good with that.
And then sometimes the cost involved, the cost of borrowing. It is just recently that we have seen interest rates in borrowing coming a bit low. But we've been borrowing over 30%. I mean, you've been hosting a lot of people here when they're telling you the difficulties they go through and the cost involved in putting this infrastructure, saddled with the interest rate and how much you have to pay back and how long it takes you to recoup your investment. My brother, it's not a joke. We have they have designed some modeling data systems where you put in certain information about the facility, the cost inputs, projection of rent income and all that. You put them in and you are looking at 32, 35 years to recoup your investments. And where we have a country where interest rates is hovering where it's hovering, it's not easy. So sometimes the developer or the hostel provider have a very genuine concern. But I agree that the bit that I think they must do something very seriously with is the quality and the service that they provide, which sometimes for me doesn't match how much they are charging for the service.
Would you then be okay if the service is good but price is high? You're fine with that?
I think so. You see, the states, we've been going through this. The same situation with the challenges with our deficits in accommodation. Yeah. And then you realize that the private sector is doing its best, putting two and two together to try and put accommodation on the market. Go around and check how much private estate developers have been able to develop certain units, a 2-bedroom, a 1-bedroom, and the kind of pricing they have put on those. Go back to the same government where they have access to land much easier. They import or they have access to other freebies, and yet you see that the pricing from the state sometimes does not even match the pricing of the developer. It all has to do with accommodation. I'm just trying to bring your mind to how difficult it is to put this housing together. So I agree, there must be some kind of justification for what the hostel facility owners are demanding. But that is where we need to find a balance. Okay. However, my very own concern also had to do with the quality of some of the facilities that are being provided for. And that one is of a very serious situation.
Which is what the rent commissioner is talking about.
And I think the petition from the student union also spells it out. I mean, you cannot expect people to live in some deplorable condition and yet they pay so much. It doesn't work. And I was just wondering why if we want to bring some regulation, then the regulation must tackle the aspect of the quality and the service that they provide. And so even before we came into the studio, I was just telling him that I think that we could look at classifying hotels just like hotels are done. That they say this is a 5-star hotel, it's a 2-star hotel, and so
you know what to expect.
You know what to expect.
But also, it sort of objectively sets a price for you. You have a price range.
Exactly. So that when you pay for a 1-star hostel, you know what to expect. If you pay for a 5-star hostel, then you know what to expect. So that we don't lump everything together.
But isn't the case
people are overpricing?
That the pricing determines the quality of service you get? I'm assuming, right?
Yes,
Because if some hostels can charge you up to $15,000 a year, and then some can charge you as low as I said, $5,000 in the lower band. So of course, if the guy paying $15,000 can expect to have, air conditioning, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter how much you pay in correlation to the service from your experience.
No, it matters.
Yeah.
It matters.
It should.
And so, I mean, if you check the prices, you realize that those that are paying those quantum of 15,000, they are enjoying some facilities. Yeah. But when you come down below, you realize that there's that situation where somebody is paying maybe 5,000 in a particular hostel. He enjoys a very good ambience, not air conditioning, but the quality of the service is good. You pay another 5,000 in another hostel where the bathroom facilities, the beds, I mean, it's also terrible. And so I think that is where we need to fix and make sure that this thing is worked out such that the private investors also are able to recoup.
You are in the real estate, business. You are the executive secretary with the Grader, so you have some insight into this. Listen to both sides. Yeah, what's your take on the controversy? Right, the students have an issue. The hostels believe that what they are doing is fair. What's the problem here?
I think they have a genuine concern. Okay. I'm a parent, and so I know about these hostel issues. Yeah. Every semester, I'm giving invoices, and sometimes I'm like, wow, what's happening? Yeah. And like the information you shared on the increments over the period of time, it's a very serious concern. It is also the fact that I'm also in the business of providing accommodation. Okay. So I'm also.
Do you have hostels?
No, I don't have hostels. Yes, okay. But I also have a fair idea of what goes into property development and what it costs to maintain. And so I think both sides have very genuine concerns.
99.7 FM, and we've been joined by the Registrar of the Medical and Dental Council, Dr. Divine Banyubala, to tell us more about the Association of Medical Councils of Africa Conference 2026. Dr. Banyubala, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning, Winston, my brother, and thanks a lot for having us.
I believe you're doing very well.
We're doing great because we're looking forward to welcoming the rest of Africa and beyond to our wonderful city and country, Ghana.
Great. We'll get into the conversation shortly. But let me just tell you about Milo, because, sometimes we don't talk enough about how stressful it can be to figure out what nourishing breakfast to give kids every morning. And that's why Milo All-in-One is such a great option. It has a creamy, delicious taste kids can't have enough of. But there's more to Milo All-in-One than that rich, milky, chocolatey taste. There's so much goodness in every pack. Just take a moment to read the back of pack and see for yourself its important nutrients combined with malt that supports energy release, cocoa for that rich taste, and milk for calcium to support them as they grow. So keep choosing Milo All-in-One, not just for that special taste, but also for the nourishing goodness. Milo, energy to go further. And in partnership with the National Theatre and Joy FM, Roverman Productions presents an original Ebo White play, Honey Trap. Honey Trap shows on the 4th 5th, 6th, and 11th, 12th, and 13th of September 2026 at the National Theatre. Rate is 300 cedis per show for individuals, 500 per show for couples, and 225 for holders of the Roverman loyalty cards. Tickets are available via the Rover app. Cover short code *365 *535#. Wakana offices on the Boundary Road and at American House, and Opebia House, and at Roverman's usual outlets at Joy FM Front Desk, Shell Shops at Airport, Tema Community 11, and Dansoman, and at the Bachona Total Shop. For inquiries or large orders, call 0505 546 010. WhatsApp 0505 546 030. Sponsors Wakana Apotica Koba, Communications Partners M Notify, and Logistics Movers. Roverman Productions, be the difference. But Dr. Banibala, so let's get into the conversation now. Once again, thank you very much for joining us. Now, for the ordinary Ghanaian listening to us now, what exactly is the Association of Medical Councils of Africa 2026 about, and why should they care?
Fantastic question, Winston. We're Association of Medical Councils of Africa is an association of medical regulatory professional authorities on the continent, largely medical and dental practitioner regulators, but also other healthcare professionals that are regulated. And it's important because, in simple terms, when we are talking about AMQA, we are talking about institutions that are working every day to ensure that the doctor, the dentist, the physician assistant, or any of the other regulated healthcare professionals that is seeing anybody on our continent is properly trained, properly registered and licensed, has the appropriate level of competencies, appropriate to the level of training, and is ethical and, above all, accountable to us as patients.
Okay. So I look at the conference theme, Responsive Regulation for Safer Communities Towards Universal Health Coverage. And I ask myself, what's the relationship between healthcare regulation and universal health coverage? Isn't universal health coverage mainly about access to hospitals, medicine, and health insurance?
Fantastic question. I think that access is only one part of the whole question of universal health coverage. People must have access, but also access to basic, quality, and safe healthcare.
Okay.
And there is little value, actually, you will agree with me, in expanding access if quality and safety cannot be guaranteed. So regulation is important in our march towards universal health coverage, precisely because it helps us to establish the appropriate educational standards to determine who can enter the profession, what level of minimum competencies they are supposed to have, and to be able to monitor their professional conduct and practice as they proceed, and above all, have inbuilt mechanisms to hold them accountable when our care does not go as we had envisioned. So you will find that the President's current free primary health care policy, at the heart of that, and we have clear vision from the Honorable Minister, is that we should ensure that every Ghanaian everywhere has access to basic, quality, and safe care. And safety is at the heart of it. Oh. So regulation may happen in the background, but ultimately the person who benefits is the patient. Therefore, that would translate into our healthier communities, a healthier population, and of course, a more prosperous one.
Now, talking about safety, with the increasing migration of doctors and other healthcare professionals across Africa and beyond, how can regulators ensure that professional mobility does not compromise patient safety?
That is one of the high-level conversations we'll be having at this conference. And a complete sub-team called the African Healthcare Practitioner Regulatory Policy Outlook Sub-Team deals with issues around mobility of the health workforce and how we can ensure that we align our regulatory systems to be able to be responsive to the mobility of our practitioners, not only among and across our countries, but also beyond. And that is important because mobility itself is not necessarily the problem. But when healthcare professionals have legitimate reasons to travel out of their jurisdictions, the change must ensure that this mobility is safe, transparent, and properly managed. So you'll find that, our government, and especially the minister working with his foreign affairs counterpart, has this managed migration policy to deal with our healthcare workforce. And that is really very important for us, because we say that whilst practitioners may cross borders, patient safety must cross with them.
Great. Now, we realize that one of the conference themes is inclusive regulation. Now, I want to understand, does making regulation more inclusive risk lowering professional standards?
That is an important question. In fact, not at all. Inclusive regulation means that healthcare workspace is team-based. And it is important to ensure that all cadres and categories of professionals who are working in this team with the interest of the patient at heart ensure they are properly registered, licensed, and perform to the highest ethical levels, whilst at the same time being accountable. So you watch it. Long before COVID came, online and digital health were not as we see today. We moved on to personalized medicine. We have moved on to artificial intelligence. We have nano medicine and precision medicine. Now, these rapid changes in our environment, as we speak now, we have serious crises in terms of re-emergence of some communicable diseases in the DRC and things like that. COVID came. So all of these rapid changes require regulatory systems that will be responsive and adaptive, so that they are not static, and they must be able to respond appropriately to the changing dynamics within the healthcare space. So inclusive regulation means that you must ensure that all the appropriate cadre are properly covered. The populations we serve are diverse, and therefore an inclusive regulation must have the capacity to have that cultural competency and awareness, so that you respond to the specific needs of each community or population you serve. So that is what we mean by inclusive regulation.
Okay. So why is Ghana hosting the Association of Medical Councils of Africa Conference 2026, and what does Ghana and the wider health system stand to gain from hosting this continental conference?
Fantastic. Ghana, because leadership matters. And you will agree with me that the impact of the leadership of His Excellency the President on our country and the continent and its global influence has been such that everybody wants to come to Ghana, because we have a stable democracy. We have also shown, and the broader focus of His Excellency's leadership around African health sovereignty has meant that Ghana has become the preferred destination. And we are also, on our part, under the leadership of our minister, undertaking some significant and innovative reforms in our regulatory architecture. And so it's a good opportunity for us to come, not just the gateway to Africa, because of the history of our role in the liberation of the entire continent, but also the great things that are happening in health sector reforms, whether at the level of the larger policy or the regulatory environment. So everybody was unanimous, said we need to come to Ghana because great things are happening. We know the typical Ghanaian hospitality and the beauty of our country. So we even have had a complimentary tour package for those who are coming, because we have international audience from across the US, Australia, UK, and the rest of Africa coming to join us.
Oh, that's
and
great.
we'll be having a tour of our city, and we'll visit the Nationalism Park. We'll go to the old seat of government, and then of course definitely Kwame Nkrumah Museum and Park, just to share the richness of the history and our role as a country.
Interesting. But in conflicts, epidemics, disasters, and other humanitarian emergencies, how can regulators remain flexible and responsive without compromising patient safety and professional standards?
That is one of the things, and our continent is, always has one trouble spot or the other. But crises are precisely when you have vulnerable people and populations who face the greatest level of risk and requiring all of us our collective protection. So, of course, regulation during emergencies cannot proceed operate as exactly as it does in normal settings. But we need registration. We may need emergency registration arrangement. We may need faster deployment of our medical practitioners. We may need tax sharing or shifting, and we may need to undertake extraordinary measures. But urgency cannot mean abandoning patient safety under those circumstances, or compromising on our ethical standards or professional accountability. So one of the major conference sub-teams looks at regulation in humanitarian and fragile settings. And we hope that regulators will come together and then examine how we can continue to protect our communities, our patients, at the same time maintaining professional standards during conflicts, disasters, and emergency situations. So at the heart of this sub-team is to challenge us as regulators so that we are flexible without becoming unsafe, and we are fast without becoming reckless in that process, because at the end of the day, our duty is to guide professionals that we regulate, and ultimately to protect the patients and our communities.
Okay. So when is the conference?
So the conference, in fact, as I speak now, the first attendees will be arriving later this afternoon. But the conference itself kicks off on the 23rd, which will be evening cocktail, and the host venue is Movenpick Ambassador Hotel. And then it will run to the 27th of August. So, and we currently also have over 400 attendees that have been registered across 36 countries that are converging. And we are privileged to have His Excellency the President, who has been kind enough to do the opening ceremony for us on the 24th, the Monday. And historically, we are having the International Association of Medical Regulatory Authorities and the WHO Afro region also coming to Ghana. And this is the first time that is happening in any of our AMQA conferences. And more importantly, the Right Honorable Speaker has been kind enough to come and close the conference for us on Wednesday, the 26th of this month. So we are looking forward to an exciting array, very rigorous scientific program, but also a great opportunity for us to showcase our Ghana, that we are, our role on the continent, and the leadership that our state is providing in general health sector reforms, from health sovereignty through the innovative approaches to manage migration and ensuring that our professionals are properly trained. So you'll find that we have been doing a lot, deliberate process, responding to the leadership and the oversight we have to ensure that we become a global leader, not only just the continental leader in medical regulation, but also a global leader in medical regulation. That's the reason why we have the continental leadership of medical and dental regulation, and also the GoldBod leadership of medical regulation converging here and partnering WHO to ensure that we provide a historic conference.
Thank you very, very much, Dr. Divine Banyubala, Registrar of the Medical and Dental Council. Wish you all the best in your AMQA Conference 2026. Still live here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. We have more coming up this morning for you. I've told you about the whole discussions concerning GoldBod, what it should do and what it should not do, the issues of losses as a result of the domestic gold purchase program, but most importantly also, those of you who use the motorway to work daily, and those of you who use it all the time, I want to know how the experience is. The Roads Minister has been urging the contractor to finish work by 2027. But how is the experience? All of that coming up after these.
So we must have a middle point to make sure that these hostels are made available for people. You know, hostels are considered educational infrastructure, and ideally it should be provided by the state. But we can also attest to the fact that the state is unable to provide adequately, and so the private sector has taken that mantle. And so we must appreciate where the private sector also comes from and the kind of costs that they are saddled with in making these accommodations available.
So give me a good sense of the rent that you also had to sort of deal with when you went to visit. What were the students telling you? How much on the average were they being charged? And were they being charged beyond the 6 months that the law, within the 6 months or beyond it, as far as the legal arrangement is concerned. What did you find as far as that is concerned?
Yeah, so Evans, honestly speaking, we know that we have typically 2 semesters. That is 4 months, which is 8 months. But they say academic year, in our local parlance, a year is a year as a tenant. It is 12 months. So if a student pays academic year, now when they are living and they are living, it's expected that their items should be left in their rooms so that they can come next year and come and continue. Now they are running the place like a hotel. They are playing like a hotel. When the time they will just get them out. And when they are coming, they say that they will have sandwich programs and so forth and so on and get them out. And for me and for us, this is where the matter lies. The point is that typically in a year, they have 8 months. Then when they spend the 8 months, so you see academic year is not 12 months to them. You see 4 in a room, each paying 5,000, 6,500. So in a typical normal, less than a normal room, they are taking 20,000, 18,000, 24,000 to some 30,000. Evans, 30 good 1,000. Even East Legon, the best place here in Accra, you will not even get that single room 30,000.
So you confirm that 2 things. One, the services were poor, but what about the complaint about price and the rent that was being charged?
You see, that is why I was trying. Let me use this opportunity to, first of all, state it clearly. The thin line between the responsibility of Ghana Tourism Authority and rent control. Now, Ghana Tourism Authority, when it goes about regulating or regulation, it is that they stop at one person's back. Now, if you look at it clearly, the responsibility of Ghana Tourism Authority is to look at the situation, how you manage the place. They monitor to see that you are up to standard, and that if you are not or you fall below standard, they can close you down. That is where they are limited, and they license you. Apart from that, as to how much you add. You see, how much you add, how much you charge. Even in the first time, if you put the hostel up, you are not supposed to sit and be telling us how much you want to charge. Because Ghana is a country of laws. And we expect that investors and operators are not operating in vacuum. And they should not be thinking that because they have investors or they borrow money, they begin to use economic jargons of demand and supply. I agree. I associate myself with it. But Ghana is a country of laws, and people ought to respect the laws of the republic. If not, then we are graduating to become a lawless country. And Ghana cannot be there and thinking that all the time we should use it. Look, you go to the hostel, Evans, the students are packed like sardines.
The rent commissioner who acted on your petition joins us. Frederick Opoku, thanks for agreeing to speak to us. I understand that after this petition, you started inspections. What did you discover?
So, very well, let me say a very good evening to the viewers and everybody. Unfortunately, I'm traveling, still coming to Accra, so you wouldn't see me well, so forgive me. Yes, yes, I received a petition from NUPS, as Rashid has put it, and I thought I needed to be fair because I'm more or less like a referee, and that I shouldn't show any kind of bias anywhere. So when I received the petition, I advised myself to move to the ground and see if what the complaint they gave me was the reflection of what is happening. Evans, your case is as good as mine. When I just started the viewing on the grounds, it was shocking, honestly. And I was wondering what the issue was. And you realize that the conditions, ventilation, nothing. And I was wondering, were they even licensed at all? Are they monitored at all? And what of you? Because I was a bit scandalized to see young people in rooms, in cubicles. I don't think it's what it's about hostel. These are cubicles, not hostels. Then dividing room, 4 in a room, 3 in a room, 6 in a room, like prison. So I went round all the universities almost, and the issue was the same. So what I can say is that the state of our children Our young people.
We want to talk about something very exciting this morning, because our friends from Dentsu Africa and Ghana have joined us this morning to tell us more about the Dentsu School of Influence. This morning, Andrew Aka is Chief Executive Officer at Dentsu Ghana, and Don Rolands is Chief Executive Officer at Dentsu Africa. Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning, Winston.
I believe you're all doing well.
Absolutely well.
So let's start first of all with what Dentsu is all about, and most importantly, the Dentsu School of Influence. And why are you launching one in Ghana, Andrew? Or maybe Don, you could start.
So we started this journey 3 years ago in South Africa, and we've actually launched 5 schools subsequently, 2 in Europe. Kenya's been running for 2 years now, and the latest addition to the family is Ghana. And I think the real reason is just to ensure that as we move forward, as creators play a bigger role in brand communication, we need to ensure that they have the right business acumen, the right training, and that our clients take them seriously and pay them correctly. So I think a big part of this is really knowing your worth in the industry and how you move forward or how you grow your career. So it's a big part of our business going forward, and something we need to make sure that everybody's well aware of their rights.
Okay. So who are you looking to enroll?
Anybody in Ghana who believes that they have the potential to move from a micro-influencer to a mega, and anybody who believes that they have something interesting to say, and that can help brands and potentially even Ghana as a country move forward.
Okay.
To add a bit to that, Winston, I mean, we see a lot of young creators creating amazing platforms to sell their ideas and their thoughts and their creativity. But most of them do not see it as a business. For those who see it as a business, I think that they are only interested in making posts and cashing out, right? But there's science to what we do. That's what traditional agencies are built for. There's a science of marketing, science of understanding the client's business. All of these things are science which should be taught. But most creators today may not necessarily have those acumen and those thinking and understanding as your traditional agencies, since they become a part of our fabric of communication, and we can't cut them off because we need them, because they have spontaneous, they're young, they're bringing some creativity into the space. So we want to equip them with the right thinking, knowledge, and understanding, and see this as a business. A lot of creators can actually elevate what they're doing now to see it as a full business. Okay. And that is where we come in to give them the requisite skills, training, knowledge, whatever it takes for them to elevate their game, understand how to communicate with clients, understand the client's business, even go deeper and understand contracting. Most of them do not sign contract. They don't understand the nuance of contracting. So they say, give me my money and that's it. But their responsibility to accepting, to produce some sort of creative for clients. So all these things will be taught in the school.
I'm just curious, why should brands care about professionalizing creators?
Because like if you look at the way communication was back in the day, it was just a one-time thing. Client would tell you, this is my product, this is how I think you should feel, so go out there and go and buy. What we've seen with the evolution of technology and social media is that everyone has a potential to be a creator, right? And they're doing great stuff, and it's become part of the ecosystem of brands expressing themselves or making themselves available to their targets. So it's important that brands do care. If you look at the age brackets, you have a lot of Gen Zs and millennials who are digital natives, who live on social media, who do everything on social media on their screen. So it's important that brands do understand the platforms that their target currently are seated on, and to make sure that they are actually cooperating or partnering with the right creators within that age bracket to be able to propagate the agenda of their brands.
I think brands really need to understand people, and technology moves at the speed of people. It's what people demand, right? And technology shows up. And in today's world, the amount of engagement that younger consumers expect to have with the brand is much higher than the past. In the past, it was a one-way conversation. I spot out a TV ad or a radio ad, and people just take it as is. Now they want to engage with you. They want to understand, do you really have the credentials as the brand to say what you're saying? How can I believe you? Are there people who will vouch for you? And that's where creators play a massive role. They bring a sense of credibility to a brand story. And if you're a very good creator, you're going to look into the credibility that a brand has to actually bring that message. If your brand doesn't have the history, etc., and you're talking about a long journey with consumers, if you don't have a history in Ghana, you have no credibility. And that's what really good creators can do. They can blend, they can storytell, and they really just bring a level of credibility and engagement. Consumers start engaging with them. They're a spokesperson for the brand. And brands also need to realize that at some point they have to allow their brand story to be told by others. I mean, this is not something that wasn't happening previously. It just wasn't happening on social media.
Yeah.
At dinner tables, people were saying, oh, well, have you tried this product? It's really amazing. So this storytelling is, and the fact that you can engage with the person who's telling the story directly is what younger consumers want. So brands really need to think about that.
I get it. I mean, these days people want to learn more, and it's not just about you telling them. They want to understand. I mean, has anybody used your products before? How do they feel? And so I can understand where you're coming from. But what role then does Dentsu play in the creator economy?
Yeah, so our role is actually, we sit in the middle of the journey, right? So we sit between the client or the brands and the consumers, and our job is to help propagate the communication between the two. So our role is to actually, we understand what it is because we've worked with clients for a long time. What we want to do is to bring these creators along with us, because now we have to co-creators, with the brands that, that want to reach their consumers. So we want to gradually pull them to where we are, where they understand, like I said, the understanding. You need to understand marketing, branding. You need to appreciate what it is like to take a video, to edit, to put the right sound, to have the right format so that it can attract consumers on your platform. So we're playing a very critical role in this.
I think if we don't do this, what we'll end up with, I mean, all of us watch AI cat videos, we'll end up with a lot of content slop. And if you think about journalism, that's kind of the enemy, right? And the same for brands. When you end up with a lot of content slop that veers off of your brand tone of voice or your social point of view as a brand, it becomes quite dangerous. And my fear with AI is that everything will start looking the same, So we need young creative people to actually intervene to ensure that that doesn't happen, because otherwise we're all going to be watching Chinese cat videos.
Interesting. But so why is the Dentsu Creative Studio very important to the program?
Yeah. So the exciting part of this is, so let's get to the meat of why we're, the format of this school. So we are opening this app to all young creators in Ghana who have minimum 1,005 following, because you must be in the business, because those are the ones that we need to help grow. So 1,005 following, you must be resident in Accra or have some sort of accommodation in Accra. We are opening this app for anyone to come in and apply. So if you're to follow our social media handles, DentsuGhana, .com on Facebook. So Dentsu Ghana, follow it on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and then you see a link. So what you have to do is to click that link. It will take you to a landing page. There are terms and conditions. So you apply for that. Then the interesting thing is that you have to put up a 60-second video of yourself, your platform, what you've been doing in the past, and why you think that we should give you a seat in our studio for training. The reason the studio is important is that we want to put them in the right environment. I know it's easier for anyone to take a mobile phone, put a bit of lighting in there and say, I'm producing content. That is fair and good. But there's a professional way these things are done. So we put them in the studio for 1 week, full training on platform mastery, the psychology of influence. We're going to train them on video editing, still how to take still pictures. We're going to have a lawyer who will take them through contracting.
Okay.
We're going to have clients in there who let them know what the expectations are of the influencer. So it's going to be a full 1 week intensive training, and it's going to be mixed with theory and 4 practicals, and every day there's something for them to do. Then once we're done with the 1 week, we are going to give them a brief, because we have some partners, we'll talk about them later. We're going to give them a brief, so they're supposed to present the brief to us on the day that we are graduating. And whoever wins the brief, we have prizes for quite a number of them in there. And then they also get an opportunity to work with these blue chip partners, so that they can produce some content for them. Now, the good thing is that after we are done with the training, after you're done with your obligations of creating content for these partners, you now have an opportunity to have your own one-on-one contracting with the client. If you want to still use us to do that, to close that deal, that's fine. But we're giving you the knowledge, the experience for free. And this is for free. You don't have to pay a thing. Our partners are helping us to put this together. So you come in, you get trained, you produce some great content, and go out there and build your business. It is our contribution to the industry to say we want everyone to be elevated in their game in this industry.
Anything you want to add, Dawn?
No, just to say that the studio is really important because it drives a level of quality. And I think, like I said, if we don't have that level of quality, we will end up in a position where everything looks the same, and the quality is not good. And essentially, that level of control around what brands put out is really important.
Okay. Now, before we wrap it all up, Andrew, just go over again how interested persons can apply for the program.
So you follow our social media handles, Densu Ghana, on Instagram, on
That's
TikTok. DENTSU Ghana. DENTSU Ghana. So you follow through. There's a link in there. You click the link, it will take you to a landing page. And then that landing page you have to click terms and conditions. You read the terms and conditions, you agree, you click that. Then you produce a 60-second video of yourself and what your platform is about. The job you're pitching to us, so pitch. And we know we're going to get a lot of applications coming through. And we are taking the top 20 of applicants. So it's going to be very competitive. So we want everyone to bring their A game. And then once that is done, we're going to announce, who the cohort winners are or candidates are, and then we can actually start the training session going. So it's open from now until the 3rd of September. Okay. That is when we'll be expecting the applications to come through.
All right. Anything you want to say finally, Dawn?
No, just to say that I'm really excited to see what talent shows up in Ghana. We've already done this, as I said, twice in Kenya. We've got some incredible talent that have come through on that, and they're in their second year of contracts with clients. So I'm waiting to see what comes through from Ghana. And just remember that Ghana is a starting place. Many of these influencers and creators go on to regional exposure. So massive opportunity for anybody coming in.
Thank you very much, Don Rowlands, Chief Executive Officer of Densu Africa. And a big thank you to you also, Andrew Aka, Chief Executive Officer of Densu Ghana. So folks, you know what to do if you are in that industry. Or even if you want to get in there, you get to the social media page, that's Densu Ghana.
Yeah.
And pick it up from there, DENTSU
Ghana.
Okay, don't forget that. Still live here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7. I want to return after these messages. Our friends from Virtual Security Africa are joining us. We're talking about home security. And that's all part of our Habitat Fair, because tomorrow, the 21st of August to the 23rd of August, the first mini clinic at the Achimota Retail Center, or Achimota Mall. We'll be right back.
In these campuses, that they call hostel is something that needs to be looked at again. Because Evans, it is appalling. Evans, it is shocking. Evans, it's a killer. And we cannot, as a government, sit down, for such behaviors to perpetuate under the disguise of we are investors. And for me, it's a shame, and that we must relook at it again.
Rashid, let me start with you. So you sent your petition. Did you receive a formal reply?
Yes, we did.
Okay, so that was favorable from what I understand. The rent control office wanted to do something about it. So you started this whole conversation.
We started the whole
What was the problem?
So, the issue about rent is that this is not the first time we've experienced this. The past years, we've been experiencing the issue of rent with regards to students' accommodation. But we've not had leaders who would actually stand on their grounds to fight this. So when I assumed office, I thought of the fact that we have an act that governs rent in the country. And reading the act by section 36 of the act, I know that hostels also forms part of premises that are being regulated by the rent control. So I decided, together with my able executives, petitioned the rent commissioner to act, because the complaint that we've been receiving from schools in Takwa, UMAT, KNUST, University of Ghana, UPSA, Wisconsin, UDS, a whole lot. The schools are just many. They were just bringing in petitions that we should act. So I quickly submitted a petition to the rent commissioner that he should act. And when I submitted, most people were saying that, and in the Akan language, it wouldn't end anywhere. And let me appreciate the rent commissioner, Mr. Frederick Opoku, for the good works that he is doing. I, on behalf of the Ghanaian students, would like to greatly appreciate him for the work that he is doing. But for him, we wouldn't have seen that our children are in school, living in a very bad condition. But for him, we've been able to expose all of that. So we thank him for the good works that he is doing as well. And then the work that he's doing, Ghanaian students appreciate that. So the government should offer him the needed support to continue to fight for the students.
What were the specifics beyond just, was it just a price problem?
So the price is largely has to do with the pricing and also the service, the quality of service that is even being delivered.
So you're paying exorbitant rent?
Yes.
But also the quality of service is poor. That's basically
that is the issue. Okay. That is the main issue, right? Sometimes there are no renovation, but the following year they will tell you that we are increasing the hostel fee by 500,000 Ghana.
No value has been added.
Nothing has been added. Building. So they are unable to provide justification for the increase.
But they will obviously be paying electricity, water, which obviously increases here.
Nowadays, most of the hostels are even, the students themselves pay for all those things. Maintenance fee, they pay for maintenance fees. And then the bad aspect of this is that they will give the excuse that the students actually mess up the place. So they need money to maintain the place. But most of the hostels, they pay maintenance fees. And the condition they give is that if you don't spoil anything there, your money will be given back to you. But the semester will end, the money will not be given back to you. I've had numerous issues whereby students have called me that this year we've paid for maintenance fees, nothing spoiled in my room, yet they refuse to return those monies to me. So these are the issues that are generally affecting the Ghanaian students in the various hostels in the country.
And so you ask, how different is our trade model from the domestic good purchase program? Number one, unlike domestic purchase program where good was bought based on live prices, which doesn't allow the buyer to plan and to know at any given time gold that is bought and the accurate cost price for the gold. The GoldBod has a new pricing mechanism. We use LBMA AM, LBMA PM, two pricing windows. That brings predictability and certainty. It allows us to know real-time gold that is bought for us and the accurate cost price so that you cannot increase the cost price. And the GoldBod is also allowed.
Look, this morning, before we get into the conversation with our friends from Virtual Security Africa, let me tell you about the China trade trip with CBG. Imagine sourcing directly from the heart of manufacturing and trade. Consolidated Bank Ghana CBG is thrilled to announce the third international trade trip to China, an exclusive trip designed just for you to Guangzhou and Yiwu. So from the 4th to the 20th of October 2026, you get the opportunity to explore the Chinese market, network with suppliers, and discover innovative products that can elevate your business. Enjoy easy access to various sectors with professional translators at your service to bridge any communications gaps. Numerous benefits await you, including insightful business seminars, orientation to the Chinese market, factory and market visits, and valuable connections that could transform your business strategy. Don't miss out on this chance to expand your horizon. For inquiries and registration, call Rosemary on 0243 803596, Esther on 0243 043 708, Solomon on 0556 799127, and Lethal on 0531 019150. Together, let's make your business dreams a reality. CBG, we stand with you. But going green is not just about saving the planet. It can save you real money. Install solar panels, cut down your power costs, get an electric vehicle, and reduce what you spend getting around. So switch to energy efficient equipment and lower the cost of running your home or business. And the best part is that Absa Bank can help you finance all of it. The Absa Green Loan gives you what you need to make it happen. Walk into any Absa branch, ask about the Absa Green Finance Loan today, and say yes to a greener tomorrow. Terms and conditions apply. Absa Bank reminds you to shine your eye to avoid being scammed. Your story matters. Absa. Now, need fuel? Make the smart stop at Star Oil, Ghana's largest oil marketing company. With over 240 stations nationwide, Star Oil gives you high quality fuel, great service, and real value for money. And this is why many Ghanaians are switching to Star Oil. And with a Star card, you can enjoy safe, cashless fueling and easy expense tracking. Wherever you go, choose Star Oil for your quality and affordable fuel. But this is our tip for today from Virtual Security Africa. Back up your data, ensure important files are backed up automatically to a secure cloud service or an offline backup. Periodically test that you can restore files successfully. And we'll be speaking to them shortly. But before we do, Kofi Boyde is still here with me. Kofi, lots of the messages have come in this morning.
Yes.
Share some of them with us.
Okay, so we've got one from Kingsley, who's at Fafraha, and he says that Adenta's electricity has been restored, and it was restored around 7:31 a.m. We've got messages also from Tepa, and apparently there's still no light in Tepa. Mercy Donko from Manhia in Ablekuma still says there's no light. And then also we have Marian Wright, who's at Manfi Equiapim, and she says, I can't tell the exact time, but it's still off here. Our weather is so cool, so whether light or no light, we'll continue to sleep like babies. So the people in Equiapim, I guess, are still sleeping. Yes.
They're having fun then.
So maybe they are not really bothered about it.
But for business, for sleeping, you can sleep. But you may need other things that electricity will become necessary. And that's where the issue is, because I also slept with my lights. No, I didn't sleep. I was awake then, but I didn't feel warm just because my lights were off. Yeah.
Yes, of course.
But Kofi, before you continue, we'll get back to more of the messages. But we've been joined by Derek Agbemazi, who is a systems engineer at Virtual Security Africa. And Derek, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning, and thank you very much for having us.
Okay, Derek. I mean, we want to understand something, and we want to learn tips on home security. It's something that is very important. Share some tips with us on how we can improve our home security.
All right. Thank you once again for having me. My name is Derek, like you mentioned. Just a little bit about us. Virtual Security Africa is a provider of complete electronic security solutions for CCTV, access control, physical security systems, fire alarm, and all kinds of electronic security gadgets. So the tip for today we want to give our customers, our customer base, our friends, and our clients is that security is just not about having the equipment in your home and then you forget. Partner with a trusted company or a trusted brand like ours for us to maintain and ensure fully functional operations of your security equipment. You know, security is like having an insurance. Once you continue to maintain the insurance package, the moment when you need it most is when it will serve you the best. So once you partner with a company like us, you make sure that your security systems are always maintained and serviced. Then the day that you need it most, the moment you need it most, you can be guaranteed of having good security for your home or for any event that you would like it to capture.
Great. Thank you very, very much, Derek, for joining us. But I'm sure you're joining us tomorrow. I know you join us tomorrow at the Achimota Mall, Achimota Retail Center.
Exactly. We are joining fully with all our services and all our full bouquet. In fact, we have a program or a package for the first 20 people to visit. We have a special gift to give all the first 20 people who participate at very great value for them. We'll be happy to welcome all householders to come and pass by. We have great security products across electric fence, intruder alarms, CCTV, fire alarm, intercom, and a video doorbell solutions to ensure that they are full and complete electronic solution protecting their homes, giving them the peace of mind they deserve.
And just by way of a wrap up, okay, again, share with us today's security tip on home security.
So on home security, what we want you to be aware of is to make sure your CCTV and access control or video doorbell are functional and in place. Contact your provider to ensure that it is working fine and it's in good shape, so that the moment you need it, it's working for you.
Thank you very much, Derek Agbemazi, Systems Engineer at Virtual Security Africa. And Kofi, yes, before we spoke to Derek, you're telling us some more about the messages.
Yes. And it appears different parts of the city or the country has power that's getting restored. But if you go to East Legon, Senna was telling us that at the time she was leaving home, light had been restored at 6:15 a.m. But of course, in Asofa, Eira also says her lights were not on. In La Paz, the lights are on now, and they came on around 8:06 a.m. And then at East Legon, I've already mentioned that East Legon has light right now. But the other places, we're seeing that Oyarifa has no light, and then also there's no light in Labadi.
Right, thank you very much, Kofi. And before we get into more of your messages, the CompuGhana Back to School promotion is back, okay? Being ready is another. Fresh clothes and new sneakers are nice, but is your laptop ready for assignments? Is your power bank ready for those long campus days? And when the deadline hits, is your printer ready? CompuGhana Back to School season is here to help students students get fully prepared for the new academic year. Shop laptops, tablets, smartphones, printers, routers, headphones, power banks, small fridges, and more, with exciting discounts up to 40% starting from now to the 20th of September. Parents, get them ready. Students, it's time to level up. CompuGhana Back to School season, new school, new level. Walk boldly into any CompuGhana showroom or visit CompuGhana.com to level up. Call 0302 752 020. WhatsApp 0243 143 143 for inquiries. Charlie, you for level up or CompuGhana, passion for technology. And for 13 years, Adanse has created unforgettable journeys and lifelong memories for thousands of travelers around the world. This August, it's your turn. Experience the excitement of Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Malaysia, Bali, Singapore, Thailand, Nairobi, and Zanzibar with the exciting 13th anniversary tour packages. Book today by calling 0595 500 817 or 053 100 8550 or visit AdanseTravels.com. Adanse Travels are 13. Feel the joy. And the countdown is on as the APSA Auto Fair in partnership with City FM and Hollard Insurance, bringing Ghana's leading automotive brands and thousands of car lovers together for one exciting week. Join us from Saturday the 22nd to Sunday the 23rd of August at Good Park, Accra Mall, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. for the biggest auto event of the year. Bring a friend, bring the family, and come and explore vehicles and enjoy test drives. Insurance and affordable finance options from Absa Bank while you pimp your rides with new accessories. Looking to showcase your business, you can still book an exhibition space by sending a WhatsApp message on 0541 361237 today. And let me just inform you that the Digital Assets Summit Africa 2026 returns to Accra on the 16th and 17th of September at the Kempinski Hotel, Gold Coast City, held in collaboration with the Bank of Ghana's Virtual Assets Department and the Securities and Exchange Commission, Ghana. This year's summit will bring together policymakers, regulators, central banks, financial institutions, investors, and technology leaders from across Africa to explore how digital assets can drive investment, create jobs, and economic growth. Register now at dasummitafrica.com. And the Phantom Lecture Series powered by MOBA Central comes off in Cape Coast as follows. Theme: Integrating School Rules, Culture and Human Rights in Ghanaian Schools. It's tomorrow, Friday, the 21st of August 2026 at 5 p.m. venue Phantom Assembly Hall, Cape Coast. Chairman Anabru Butler, MOBA 69. Moderator is Dr. Kenneth Charlton Akins, MOBA 74. Panelist is Nana Kobnanketia the 5th. Paramount Chief of the Sikado Traditional Area, Reverend Esther Dennis, Educationist, Professor, and Nana is MOBA 69, Professor Alfred Ampaminsa, Deputy Director, IPA UCC MOBA 92, and Dr. Charles Amoah, Executive Secretary, Central Regional Peace Council. Media partners Joy FM and Joy News. But Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited wants you to know that their back to school promotion is here again, okay? And they're offering you 15% discount on all school items, including pens, pencils, erasers, school exercise books, and more across all their branches in Accra, Tema, Kumasi, Takrady, Winneba, and Cape Coast. Parents, teachers, students, please hurry while stock class. For more information, call them on 0302 764101 or 0302 764209 or email info@kingdomgh.com. You can also visit their website, kingdomstoreonline.com. Kingdom Books, where quality and affordability are both assured. Terms and conditions apply. Still live here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. Kofi Bodi is here with me. He's a friend of the show. He passed through this morning. But Kofi, before you leave us, more messages are coming in. There's a complaint about the roads.
Yes. So there's a citizen, someone who lives around McCarthy Hill, and they are commenting about the deteriorated roads between McCarthy Junction to Malam Junction. He's saying that it's important that the authorities look at this before schools reopen, because already it's causing very heavy vehicular traffic in that neighborhood. So if the authorities can kindly attend to this road, we can ensure that when school reopens, motorists do not suffer.
Yeah, but I mean, as for the roads, it's an area we can't stop talking about.
Mm-hmm.
We'd always talk about the roads, and I'm happy that they are fixing them. I'm happy that they are being fixed.
Yes.
But a lot would have to be done. Someone also sent me a message complaining about the Brekusu Road. Says, why can't they just fix the Brekusu Road?
That road.
And, that's another issue. So let me just read the message verbatim. I'm just trying to get the message. Okay, let me see if I have the message here. I think I probably do not. Okay, I think I have it here.
You found it? Okay.
Yes, I found the message here. It says, why can't they just fix the Brekusu Road? It's only 23 kilometers. Why can't they fix it? I mean, that's an important road. So it's something that should be done.
Yeah.
And I'm happy one of these days we'll try and bring the roads minister in to have this conversation here on the Super Morning Show. But sometimes big moments start with small things. A call to a loved one, Momo transaction to support family, a bundle to grow your business. But what if they could lead to something bigger than you ever imagined? With the MTN 30 promo, every call, every text, every browse, and every Momo transaction, every connection to home fiber, and every activity on my MTN app earns you points towards amazing rewards, including 9 brand new Toyota Land Cruiser Prados, over 10 million Ghana cedis in cash prizes, unforgettable experiences just for you, because every move counts. Dial star 530 hash or use my MTN app to participate now, and let's stay connected everywhere you go. MTN 30, make every move count. Terms and conditions apply. But welcome to the future of mobility in Ghana. Drive EVGH. And it'll be at the Achimota Mall, Achimota Retail Center tomorrow for the Republic Bank Joy News Habitat Fair Mini Clinic. And so at Drive EVGH, we are not just selling electric cars, we are launching a movement, all electric, all style, zero fuel, zero noise. Cut your transport cost by up to 70%. No more oil changes, engine repairs, or long queues at gas stations. Drive now, pay later, no deposit, no excuses. And thanks to amazing bank partners, you get instant approval, great interest rates, and super flexible terms. One luxury electric vehicle is yours today, and when it's time to recharge, we've got you covered with X-Charge EV, our blazing fast smart charging network, fully self-serve, app-enabled, and growing fast across Ghana. So whether you're a smart driver, a forward-thinking business, or someone chasing sustainability goals and SDG success, this is your moment. So are you ready to ride the revolution? Drive EVGH, Ghana's #1 electric car company. Visit their showroom at Burma Hill on the Mahama Road. For inquiries, call 0596 513056 or 0554 136410. Drive EVGH, drive into a sustainable future.
coffee in your cup. Enjoy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
Last night a DJ saved my life. Last night a DJ saved my life, yeah. 'Cause I was sitting there bored to death, and in just one breath he said, you gotta get up, you gotta get off, you gotta get down, girl. You know you drive me crazy, baby. You've got me turning to another man. Called you on the phone, no one's home. Baby, why leave me all alone? And if it wasn't for the music.
Still live here on the Super Morning Show. Kofi, we have a message from Ashoman.
Yes, Jerome. He says that Ashoman Estate area, we still haven't got power. Emphasis on the I think he's desperate.
But tomorrow, as part of our Sustainability Month conversation, we're looking at food waste in the nation, how we're throwing away millions while people go hungry. What do you do with your waste food? Millions in food bins while Ghana goes hungry. Who's to blame? And we're going to be focusing on how we can convert our waste into something productive. Coming up tomorrow on the Super Morning Show. And that'll be all from us this morning here on the Super Morning Show. Oyarifa has no light as a message. On behalf of the team led by Sami Odame, my name is Winston Amoah. I've been here with Kofi Bwedi. Thank you very much.